When you think this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away, you got to get up close like this. You blow their brains all over your nice side.
Yeah.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, 13th day of November. Chris Burdick is producing the show, and a busy one it is. We've got a ton of guests this afternoon. We're going to start at the bottom of the hour with Cassie Bittle, owner-operator, Casey Steakhouse, and part of the Planning Commission, among other titles. Was involved with the Flood Ministries. She's just one of those people. And it's a Thursday, so Mike Turnipseed will be here at 4 o'clock, and our money man, Daniel Petrey. Stocks dropped dramatically because now there's talk that Jerome Powell will not. I got Hershey's candy all over me. He will not lower interest rates again in December. We'll talk about that with Mr. Petrey. And there's some miscellaneous news and notes. The LA City Council voted 12-1 to urge Metro to reject the gondola project. You guys know about this? You guys do know that Frank McCourt, former Dodger owner, still owns the parking lot. One of the smarter things. McCourt is a horrible owner, but he's a brilliant cat. He really is. And he was suggesting to create a gondola from Union Square, the train station, to Dodger Stadium. But there were some obstacles, some people against it, some trees would be damaged, and they did a study that it would not help in terms of traffic getting in and out of Dodger Stadium. And Karen Bass, who as a city councilwoman was against this, and we presume she still is. We'll give you some details on that. And the Blue Origin New Glenn rocket launched this morning. It's going to orbit the Mars, and we'll get into that a little bit. And one of my pet peeves in life has finally come to fruition. I said, one of my pet peeves in life has finally come to fruition.
I apologize. And which one was that?
Well, it's funny you should ask. The penny is dead.
You know, I saw that.
The penny is dead.
We really need to kill the penny?
Yes.
Yeah?
Do you use pennies?
I mean, granted, no.
Nobody uses pennies. Nobody uses pennies. And we've got a high-speed chase on the freeway. Ooh, it's in Brentwood. Holy Toledo.
Oh, they've been on this for like 30 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's been avoiding for a good amount of time.
Where did it start? Now they're in...
I couldn't tell you where it started, but it's been all throughout LA.
They're in Brentwood, so they're near the Sunset Boulevard, near my alma mater, where that Holiday Inn is, kind of near UCLA, kind of near the VA hospital. And he is not going very fast. We'll follow that for you if you're interested.
It's at 35, maybe.
Yeah, we'll get into that. And yeah, so the penny is dead. They have stopped producing the penny. However, there still are, how many pennies do you think are in circulation right now?
I would have to think trillions.
Oh, see, why do you always do that?
Again, I'm thinking
you always go way over the deal. So then when I say what it is, it's like, oh, that's not that big. I thought even Chris was right. I thought it was in the trillions. 300 billion. 300 billion. So technically, the penny is not dead. It's going to be around, certainly outlive me.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, are they going to still cycle them? Or
no more production. No more production. You know how much it costs to produce a penny? 4 cents.
Wow.
Huh? It costs the government 4 cents to create a penny. Somebody walk me through that. Somebody explain that to me. I don't know. God, I'm captivated by this thing. I know exactly where he is. He's headed to the Valley. He's almost to my other high school. He's headed to Sherman Oaks, to the Buckley School. Man, how many times I made that trip from basically the airport to Sherman Oaks. I lived on the 405. That's why I couldn't do it now. I could not do it now. We've gone to ball games on Sundays and gotten into LA traffic. It's crazy. When I was a kid, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was kind of light. Thursday, Friday, of course, was crazy. And the weekends were fairly open. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday nights might get busy if there was a concert in town at the Universal Amphitheater, so the Hollywood Freeway would be busy, or if there was something going on at the Forum, the 405 might be busy. But now it's just constant. It's absolutely constant. I'm looking at this chase right now. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. The freeway's packed. This guy's not riding on the freeway. He's on the emergency lane getting by cars. But we begin, of course, with the dumbest, the most absurd, ridiculous, lose shutdown of the government we've ever seen, where neither side got anything out of this thing. And the reality is, it's not over. It's not over. This continuing resolution funds portions of the government through September, but there is still a matter of long-term funding in terms of the Pentagon, in terms of education, in terms of Homeland Security, and did I mention transportation? Yeah, Pentagon, education, Homeland Security, and transportation. It's just insane. And that's at the end of January. We could be right back where we are right now. And for what? For what? Democrats, we played that compilation for you of Democrats talking about leverage and using the ACA tax credits to keep the government closed and keep leverage, because they got a big thrill out of last Tuesday. When they won in New Jersey, when they won in Virginia, when they won in New York, they thought they had a mandate. They thought there'd been some kind of transition in support, particularly because Trump's numbers are down, but we know why Trump's numbers are down. We're going to get into that in just a minute. It's all about Epstein. This Epstein thing has gone crazy. Do you know what one headline in the New York Times said? Trump knew of sexual abuse, according to Epstein. Now, that's based on one of the text messages that said, of course he knew about the girls because he asked Ghislaine to stop it. Well, you can't irrefutably declare that that had anything to do with trafficking or pedophilia. There was as most of you know, there was constant talk about the reason they broke up as friends, Epstein and Trump, was because Epstein was poaching his employees, his female employees. You could easily make a credible argument that that's what they were alluding to. And even if he was alluding to that, there's just no way to prove it. The man's dead. And yet the New York Times categorically stated Trump knew of sexual abuse. That's just irresponsible at best, if not defamatory. There's absolutely no proof of that. And you can't just speculate. At least that's what I was taught. I can. This is an opinion show. I get a check every 2 weeks to speculate and make crazy, stupid, sometimes brilliant observations and opinions. But not the New York Times, not newspapers, not journalists. And that was the headline. He knew of sexual abuse. That's just crazy. And even Sonny Hostin, we talked about yesterday, even Sonny Hostin on The View said that quote actually exonerates him. The fact, if in fact he's alluding to knowing about the abuse, at least the president said knock it off. But that's where we are. And now we're waiting to see normalcy in terms of air flight, which is going to be a while still. They're offering rewards, $10,000 bonuses for some TSA employees and air traffic controllers who stayed on the job. But many are still staying home, and many are just getting back to work. And many are trying to put their lives back together, man, after, losing 2 checks. That would be difficult on me, and I put some money aside, but that would still be pretty damn difficult for just about all of us, except for the, folks that have more money than they know what to do with. But look at that traffic. Just absolutely stopped. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He's on, is that still the 405? Burbank Boulevard, exit San Diego. Yeah, he's on the 405. Where are the cops? Are they just letting him go?
Probably high traffic, so they couldn't get around it or something, but I have no idea.
All right, let's go.
Like Snack said, once the helicopter gets on you, it's kind of a wrap.
You would think. That's why I've never understood the chases. I've always been against the chases because my play cousin, the late, there they are. Now they're trying to trap him. The late Dr. Wilbur Sewsbury, his youngest daughter, Michelle, was driving downtown by the Bonaventure, and the cops were there was a burglary, there was a robbery at a bank downtown, kind of straight out of, what's the Al Pacino, Robert De Niro film? Where Pacino's a cop and De Niro's a burglar. And
oh, you're right. The one where
Tom Sizemore.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. And they have the big bank robbery downtown, right in front of the Bonaventure. I can't go to break until I find out the name of the film, because they're going to be killing me with text messages. Heat, yes.
I thought it was Heat.
Yes.
Popped in my head.
Right around where, you remember where the big bank robbery is downtown? There was actually a bank robbery at that bank, and Michelle was going through a green light. The cops were chasing the bank robbers, absolutely T-boned her. Absolutely T-boned her, broke her femur, the largest bone in your body. She was laid up for about 6 months. So I've always just wondered, you've got the plate. You know who it is. Or like Chris said, just follow him in the helicopter. But speeding through Los Angeles at high rates of speed after these people, it's about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Let the copter chase him and then let local cops in the area jump on him when he ends. I don't know. We got a busy show. Cassie Bittle will join us in just a couple of minutes. Michael Turnipseed as usual at 4 o'clock. Daniel Petrey at 4:30. And we'll talk about the penny. And guess who's running for Senate in the great state of Texas? Jasmine Crockett. Lord help us. We're just getting started on a weird Thursday afternoon. It's warm, but it's windy. And there's a lot of rain headed our way. In the meantime, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the First Look program. First of all, the rain's coming. We got a giant storm coming. We got half the people in town getting mental health diversion from judges. We'll do all of that. Plus, we'll have news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Webs at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks. You know, a lot of IT companies try to squeeze your unique business into their cookie cutter solutions. That's why we've teamed up with Adaptive Networks, because they know no two businesses are exactly alike, and your IT shouldn't be either. While other MSPs offer one-size-fits-all packages, Adaptive Networks takes the time to listen and understand your specific challenges, your industry requirements. They build custom technology solutions that actually fit your business, not the other way way around. So whether you're a small company or a growing enterprise, Adaptive Networks adapts to you. Their customer-driven approach means you get exactly what you need. So don't settle for generic IT support. Call Adaptive Networks today.
He hit
Discover
2 of
what
his
truly
threes. I know
customized
that.
technology solutions can do for your business.
He had more than
Adaptive
13?
Networks, because
I don't
your
know.
business is
I stopped
unique,
watching
and
at
your
halftime.
IT should be as well. Visit
Did he really?
adaptive-net.com
How many free
or
throws
call
did
661-241-0638
he hit?
today.
8? So the only one I missed was Luka.
No one can beat us, no one
You
can
gotta be
touch us.
shitting.
You won't find better prices. Shop and compare. We don't care. Take a look our way.
Well, he didn't even play. Randy told me he didn't even play in the fourth quarter. So he did get 13 though, and he got 2. He got 2 threes early. Damn, I stopped watching at halftime. I didn't know I was that close. Yeah, once he got to 30, I was like, I'm out.
So call, click, or stop by today. Your free in-home estimate is waiting
Fuck.
for you. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Every day is sale day.
Kern County business owners, this one's for you. Meet Trucordia, the new name built on trust and accord. With over 100 years of combined experience, Trucordia protects local businesses with smart, cost-saving benefit solutions. From reducing risk to keeping your team happy, Trucordia offers free online tools and hands-on support. As a full-service agency, Trucordia takes your insurance plans to the next level. Call
Who stole a car?
661-401-2280 today.
Is a
Trucordia,
stolen
where trust
car?
and harmony work for your business.
That's what I guess, yeah.
661-401-2280.
A loved one owns a gun.
I know exactly where he
You're
is.
concerned about their behavior. You're worried they might harm themselves or
He's
others.
kind of near
You
Tommy's.
wish
He's kind of
more
near
than
the
anything
airport.
You could hit pause on this situation. In Illinois, a firearm restraining order does just that. In extreme cases, this order temporarily prevents a person in crisis from having a firearm, giving them time to heal before.
I'm always shook how much gas these cars have when they get stolen. It's like, does everybody have a full tank of gas when they get their stuff stolen? Like, this is crazy.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey. That's what I say. Why doesn't the charger work? Yeah. No. There it is. I don't know. This one doesn't work. That one does. I don't know what the difference is. So apparently I came close to winning my bet last night. I didn't even realize it because I stopped watching at the half. Once it got, I watched Inside the NBA, and then I watched something else. I just couldn't even watch it. But so you all came through. I can't blame you. Chris tells me Rui Hachimura had 13 points. The over was 12.5. And the other bet that I was going to make with Rui was that he'd get 2 3-pointers, which he did. And apparently SGA got the necessary free throws. He's money. You know, I've only seen him play like in the finals last year. I've never really sat and watched him play, but I watched him play for like a half, maybe watched some of the third quarter, and he's just money. He really is. Did you watch any of the game?
Yeah, I got to watch at least.
Did you see that running right-hander there? He just flipped up. I'm just like, dude.
Well, you know who's one of the coaches that's worked really close with him is Sam Cassell.
I love Sam Cassell.
That's why you get like the whole mid-court game and all that type of stuff with him. The quick left, or he's going to his left quick stop for the mid-range shot. That's most of Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell tells some great stories about Vernon Maxwell and vice versa. I saw they're running a lot of Vernon Maxwell stuff because the guy's on Smoke 'Em Till You Got 'Em, Smokey the Bear, Smokey and the Bandit. What the hell is the name of the damn show?
All the Smoke.
Whatever. They had Vernon Maxwell was such a hit, they had him back on. Because the first time they had Vernon Maxwell on, he talked about guarding Michael Jordan
and he was just hilarious. I can't even do it the way he did it because it's so foul mouth laced. But he's like, what was it like guarding Mike? And he was like, man, are you kidding me? I ain't never seen anything like this in my life. Every time I come down the court, I'm looking at his bottom of his tennis shoes. He said, I've never seen a brother, and I cleaned that up. I never seen a brother be able to jump and spin at the same time. This fool was crazy. And the best thing you can do is just make it more difficult for him because you can't stop him. And he talked about how Hakeem Olajuwon once slapped the crap out of him. He said they were walking into the locker room at halftime, and he was pissed because he wasn't getting the ball, and he liked to spit. And Sam Cassell tried, oh, it's going to be all right. It's going to be calm down, man. We've got a whole second half. And he's like, F you, Sam. I'm boo, 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 boo. And he said Hakeem was standing behind him, and he said, Maxie, knock that stuff off. That's so unprofessional. He said, I turned around. I said, you know what, Hakeem? I'm tired of your effing ass, too. You shut the hell up. And he said, man, it's like he took his hand and grounded it into the dirt and just smacked me upside the head, knocked my ass down. I said, I ain't never been hit so hard in my life. It's really kind of funny. It loses a lot in the transition. 842-5376, 842-KERN. I don't know what to say about this Epstein thing. It's just about as dumb a thing as I've seen in a long time. And I was wrong, apparently. There's going to be according to pundits this morning, there's going to be an overwhelming support in the House on opening up the files, and that the Senate could pass it as well, that it could get to 60. And you know what that means? Then it goes to the president's desk, and he has the ability to veto it. And I'm beginning to think that they have enough votes to overturn his veto. This thing we're a year now away from the midterms. And for people in the Senate, you get 6 years. So if you just got elected, or if you got elected 2 years ago, you got 4 years. You know, our attention span as a nation is like a nanosecond. So you're probably safe. But if you're running in 26 or maybe even in 28, this thing can follow you because this isn't going away. Because I just don't see the administration doing what they are going to inevitably have to do, and that's release everything. And I'm telling you, as I said yesterday, if Trump, there are two dangers for Donald Trump. If he messes with Ghislaine Maxwell and commutes her sentence and lets that despicable, god-awful human being out of jail earlier than she's supposed to, in the wake of the Todd Blanche meeting down in Florida, and then she getting moved to Texas, a Club Fed type prison. And then, as we talked about yesterday from the New York Times, reports that the warden at the Club Fed down in Texas is doing secretarial duties for her, bringing her snacks when they're guests, helping her with her commutation application. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And if Trump isn't involved, again, the constant question that everyone is asking, then why are they acting so stupidly? Why are they acting so suspiciously? Why do they have Lauren Boebert in the Situation Room with the Attorney General and the head of the FBI trying to convince her not to be part of the 4 Republicans that got the vote over the goal line? Well, they finally got this guy. They trapped the guy that caught him in Reseda. How did this thing start, Chris?
To be honest with
It started like near the airport, and they went all the way down the valley, and they caught him somewhere in the neighborhood in Reseda, which is not a really great part of the valley. Not one of my favorite parts of the valley. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think are going to be fearful that they're on record of not supporting opening up these files, and Trump is going to have to make a decision. Cassie Bittle joins us next.
News Talk 96.1.
I don't think so.
KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. State officials are working to restore full SNAP benefits to millions of people after the long U.S. government shutdown has finally ended. Some state officials said Thursday that full November SNAP benefits should be available to spend on groceries by Friday, if not sooner. The BBC has apologized to President Trump over a misleading edit of his speech on January 6, 2021. It said strongly disagreed that there was a basis for a defamation lawsuit. Trump's lawyers sent the BBC a letter demanding an apology and threatened to file a $1 billion lawsuit. It was a rough day on Wall Street, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunging by 797 points. The Nasdaq dropped 536, the S&P 500 lower by 113. This is SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
A guilty verdict was reached Wednesday against 43-year-old Abel Juarez in the 2018 killing of Eduardo Salinas Sr. in Wasco. That's been a 7-year slog for everyone involved and may be over December 16th with sentencing for Juarez, who may face life in prison. A 17-year-old who was driving a speeding car that crashed and rolled back on October 19th on Shadow Hills Drive may be charged with vehicular manslaughter, says the Highway Patrol. That wreck critically hurt several people, and 17-year-old Miriam Ramirez Mason of Bakersfield died several days later. You can voice your opinion on a likely sewer rate increase for Bakersfield in a virtual meeting that is set for 6 tonight on the city's YouTube channel. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiotrack.com/privacy. Texting enrolls recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult the doctor.
Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over on this great company called Zelfie. And if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by weight loss.
Black Friday sale event all November now at Bakersfield Mazda. Brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 S Select. Just $259 lease for 36 months and $5,000 and $5,800 due at lease signing on approved credit. CX-50 Mazda CX-50 S Select. $259 lease per month for 36 months. Excludes tax, title, license, dealer option. 10,000 miles yearly. $5,000 and $5,800 due at signing. Offer ends December 1st, 2025. Bakersfield Mazda. Weibo and Bosch Drive. Bakersfield Auto Black Friday sale all November.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
So she wants to support it. Okay. Eight 842-5376, phone number 842-KER, and Mike Turnipseed at 4 o'clock, Daniel Petrey at 4:30. In the meantime, that woman, owner-operator Cassie Steakhouse, part of the Planning Commission, among other things that she does for this great community, Cassie Bittle, what's really going on?
Oh, hello, Ralph. Thank you for having me again today.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on. What is going on?
There's a lot going on in the media and a lot going on around town about Ken Weir, for one. And as you stated, I was a planning commissioner for the city of Bakersfield, and I am actually appointed by Ken Weir. So I know a lot of your listeners live in Ward 3 or work in Ward 3. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that if there were any questions or concerns, they are always more than welcome to reach out to me as well. I talked to Ken this morning, and he does stay up on all of the issues citywide.
Yeah. What? Any idea about his availability or when he may return, or how's he doing health-wise? Do you even want to talk about that?
Yeah, I talked to him this morning. He's definitely talking, and he's much better spirits than he was. Cancer is always a scary thing, and
Yeah, it is.
you always anticipate it to go a little setbacks. And so in the beginning of this, we did believe it, but he had a few setbacks that required extra care. And so he is in remission, as you'd call it, and he is getting healthy. He's sounding much better, and he's definitely doing his best to get back into that seat. But in the meantime, he is keeping up with what's going on.
Yeah. And so he intends to stay on the job then?
As far as I know, for this seat, yes. As far as further elections, I don't know what his plan is as far as that. But as far as being an active council member and being here for right now, yes, he is definitely planning on staying.
When is he up again?
I believe 2026.
26?
So it is next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to finish out this year, and there's a lot going on in the city. I know. I don't know if we've talked very much about the jail bed task force committee. I was appointed to that as well with Bob Smith. So we are kind of trying to keep the city moving forward as far as a lot of the crime that's going on, and trying to find a pathway forward for downtown and the east side of Bakersfield.
Yeah. How? What? Any kind of progress in your opinion?
Yes. We have worked so hard as a city over the last 6 years. And when I say that, I mean the people of Bakersfield, really kind of figuring out where our issues are and how we can better protect ourselves. So we definitely, as business owners and residents in the downtown area, we all have the lights, and we have the security cameras, and the city has put the extra officers on the streets. But one thing that I do know is we can put an officer on every street corner in Bakersfield, and unless we have the ability to hold these offenders in either jail or get them held long enough to get them into a jail diversion program, we're going to be spinning our wheels. So that's what we really need to be focusing on, is how we can keep these repeat offenders long enough to get them charged for their crimes, because accountability is first and foremost.
Yeah. And that, I think, is the biggest issue with crime. It's the idea that these career criminals, these lifetime criminals, it's a revolving door for them. And they know that. They know that there's really no hammer coming down. So they do their time, they get out, and they reoffend.
Exactly. And what we've seen since, criminal justice reform in California has completely changed over the last 10 years. And with Proposition 30, Californians said they want to see accountability for these low-level crimes. These, retail thefts, for the catalytic converters, the window smashes. We want to see people held long enough to be able to either get their prison sentence for, the multiple offenses that they've added up, or services, because we don't want to see everybody locked behind bars. Nobody's goal in all of this. We want to get those that need treatment to treatment, and those that need the long arm of the law, we need to get them in the hands of our sheriff.
Absolutely. Let's get back to Ken Weir, because I think there's a bigger question that I didn't want to get into, but I just don't believe that anybody should be forced out of their position because of it. We saw Chris Parlier go through this, and he's recovered. He's now on the board of supervisors. And, there's an old axiom in sports that a starter shouldn't lose his position if he gets injured. And I think the same thing should be in politics. This guy is going through hell. He's going through hell. I've known a lot of people that have gone through cancer, and chemo is not something that you want to go through. And I don't think that should eliminate you from serving your community because you got sick.
Thank you. And I knew you were the right person to talk to about all of this, is because it really shocked me to see how quickly a lot of people in our own party turned on him. If you look historically, Ken Weir has been a great council member for us. He looks at our finances. He looks at whether these things fit into our budget. And he's the most conservative council member we have on our city council right now. He needs some time. He needs some good prayers from everybody in this city. And he needs to be given a chance, because he knows the issues that we have. He's been the one that's been behind us. Even when the downtown businesses were asking for private security, he was the first one to jump up for us and really give us support. So I'm just asking the city people and our constituents to do the same. Give him some time and let him see if he can do this, because he's really been good to us through the years.
And financially, he's been the best watch guard for us. He was definitely against Measure N. He warned against Measure N, and he was absolutely right. As an accountant, he is the bean counter that we need on the council, if you ask me.
Agreed. I know a lot of people push for me to run for city council, but at the end of the day, being appointed by Ken gives me the opportunity to get out into the community and find out really what our needs are as far as development and as far as our economy. Ken really watches the numbers. He understands the city, and he is great at what he does. So I think we all play a part in making sure the city's successful, and I hope we continue to play that instead of eating each other. Because there's a lot of issues that we need to work on versus, attacking one another and all this.
I concur. Cassie Bittle is our guest, owner-operator Casey Steakhouse, and as she mentioned, part of the Planning Commission. Well, you got something going on coming up at your restaurant. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, Saturday night. So we had to move our belly dancer party from Halloween thanks to your Dodgers and multiple other things coming on. Apparently, that's a pretty big game around here, and everybody wants to sit on the couch and yell at the TV like other people we know. So we went ahead and moved that 2 weeks out. We've got about 8 seats left, but it's going to be a packed house. We've got some belly dancers coming from Los Angeles. We're going to do a beautiful 5-course meal with paired cocktails. It is 21 and older, but it should be a good time right before the holidays hit.
Absolutely. What's the date on that?
So it's this coming Saturday. It'll be from 6 to 9 this Saturday night.
This Saturday?
This Saturday.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, my bad. Okay.
I know. I thought it was a week out too, but
I did too.
This Saturday. We're all decorated. My mom has gone absolutely crazy with putting all kinds of sheer and silk and lights, and it's really going to be a beautiful room.
That is pretty cool. How many belly dancers do you got coming?
There's 3, and they're going to do 30-minute sets. It should be, I haven't seen belly dancers in Bakersfield in a long time.
Me either.
And a funny story is back, I believe, in the early 80s, late 70s, they actually had a belly dancer that danced around inside Casey's. So we're kind of bringing the nostalgia back a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any secrets you want to let out about the 5-course meal?
Oh, goodness. The girls have been working on some amazing cocktails. The one that I've seen and really sparked my interest, they did a Moroccan sparkling pear cocktail that looks absolutely phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see their creativity and see what chefs in the kitchen are able to do. But there's definitely going to be some Wagyu meat topped with chimichurri. So if you are a fan of some fine cuisine, these boys are going to pump out some really good stuff this Saturday.
And how can folks get 1 or 2 of the 8 remaining tickets?
They can give us a call at Casey Steakhouse, and our phone number is 661-322-9910. Unlike everybody, everybody has Google these days, so you can Google us and give us a phone call.
Outstanding. Always great to talk to you. I appreciate you coming on and taking the time. I will see you very soon.
Thank you, Ralph. We'll see you soon, hon.
Okay, take care. Love you, girlie. Cassie Bittle. One of those people. One of those people that I talk about that do everything in their power to make this a better community. And she's one of those people. She really is phenomenal. She's a whirlwind. If you've ever been to Casey Steakhouse, you've witnessed it. She's one of the few owners that you will see filling water glasses, bussing tables, making cocktails, bringing out dinners to help the waitresses. And this is all in one evening. She is, and then running over to the stockyard and helping Haley and the work that she does with the Flood Ministries and the Planning Commission and just so many different organizations. She is a whirlwind. She truly is. And she's got a great heart. She truly, truly does. Let's go ahead and take a break. We come back. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. We believe Mr. Turnipseed is coming in studio. Mr. Burdick has a faint memory that he might be calling in.
I'm pretty sure he told me that last week, but I could be wrong.
Well, I saw him on television this morning at Hard Rock Cafe, so I know he's in town, but we'll see. We'll talk with him one way or the other at the top of the hour, and then it'll be an interesting discussion with our money man, 430, Daniel Petrey. Rumor has it, the stocks plummeted today, based not exclusively, but partially on word that Jerome Powell will not lower interest rates one more time before the end of the year. It was expected that he would do so in December, but rumors of him not has sent stocks crashing. Maybe crash is a hard word. We'll talk about that with Mr. Petrey at 4:30. In the meantime, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Gun safes on sale. TNT Liberty Safes Black Friday sale is happening now all month long. TNT has the Centurion 24 that holds up to 24 long guns for $899. Or the USA 50 that holds up to 50 long guns for $1,999. TNT also has many scratch and dents and closeouts in stock while supplies last. Go to TNTLibertySafe.com and check out TNT's Black Friday full lineup of American-made gun safes. Or stop by TNT showroom at 6201 Knudsen Drive, 2 doors north of Hotels. TNT, saving lives one safe at a time.
Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. You know, I think the guys over at Sangera Subaru totally lost their minds. Did you know that now through November 19th, the lease on a 2025 Crosstrek, $149 a month. I'm not kidding. A 2025 Crosstrek Premium CVT, only $149 a month for 36 months and just $5,100 down due at signing. Or if you'd rather buy, you can get as low as 1.9% APR financing. Buy or lease. Either way, you're going to get a brand new 2025 Crosstrek. These offers end November 19th, so stop by and see my good friends Damon Culbertson, Hassan Levy, pick out your Crosstrek and the financing that works best for you. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersville Auto Mall.
Through November 19th, 2025, lease a 2025 Crosstrek Premium CVT model code SRB-13 for $149 a month for 36 months. $5,100 due at lease signing plus tax and license, 0 security deposit, 10,000 mile a year limit, 15 cent per mile overage, MSRP $30,048, VIN number SA325315, 1.9% APR financing on 2025 Crosstrek models, financing for well-qualified buyers only, subject to credit approval, offer ends November 19th, 2025.
King Door Company continues to set the standard in the garage door industry, and I'm here to tell you a few of the reasons why. First off, King Door carries Clopay garage panels and LiftMaster openers, so you're guaranteed quality and reliability well beyond the reach of most garage door companies, and it just gets better.
Hey!
King Door has a fleet of fully stocked
Did I do anything
trucks with
wrong?
all the parts and tools to handle any job quickly and efficiently, and those trucks are manned by the most knowledgeable technicians anywhere. They have all the technical expertise imaginable and the most up-to-the-minute training available. In fact, King Door is so committed to training that they have the King Door Academy, a full-size, state-of-the-art classroom right on the premises with all the latest teaching aids, including working garage doors to simulate any installation, repair, or technique. Your garage door is a very important part of the safety, security, and look of your home, so don't trust it to anyone but King Door Company. Call them today at 397-2744, stop by the showroom at 7450 District Boulevard, or check them out online at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, your company with the pride of a lion.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday work with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
The way she moves her hips up to her fingertips.
You know, that axiom that I alluded to, that you can't lose your job in sports because of an injury. That's the axiom. But in actual application, that's the farthest thing from the truth. It really is.
Tom Brady.
And the classic, no, that's not the classic. That's a good example. But you know what the classic is.
Are we selling football?
Baseball.
Have you ever heard of a man named Wally Pipp?
Oh, yeah, no, this escapes me.
Wally Pipp was a first baseman for the New York Yankees in the early 1930s, late 1920s. And he took a ball to the head at a ball game. And a day later, he was still seeing double. And he came to Miller Huggins and he said, Miller, I can't go. I can't go. And he said, don't worry. All right, sit down. We'll get you back in tomorrow. And then he looked down the bench and he said, do you know who he yelled for?
Babe Ruth?
Lou! Garrett, get up here. Yeah, what is it, Miller? You're getting in. Wally's down. He'll be back in the lineup tomorrow, but today you're playing. Get in there. He went 2 for 3, and he would play at another 2,300, whatever the hell it was.
I was unaware.
That is the classic. Yeah, that is. You've never heard that? You've never heard the Wally Pipp story? That was everybody, whenever they allude to somebody losing their gig because of injury, they point to Wally Pipp. But you're right. In modern day, it's Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe was a very, very good quarterback who took the Patriots. Did he take them to the Super Bowl the year before or the championship?
No, I think the AFC Championship. I don't think
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so either. And got hammered along the sidelines, blew up his shoulder, and they didn't yell for Lou Gehrig. They said, Brady, get in there. Fill in for Bledsoe until he's healthy. And the rest is history. But I don't think in real life, in politics or things of that nature, like I said, Chris Parlier is a classic example of a guy who was ill, who missed some time at the city council. They gave him some leeway as well. They should. And he's back on his feet and he's healthy. I saw him fairly recently, and now he's got elected to the Board of Supervisors. You know, I don't always agree with Ken Weir, but I just don't think that a man should be pushed out of his position because of illness, particularly cancer. Don't we have some kind of empathy for people? And let's don't pretend like, oh, his district, his ward has gone to hell because he's not serving. There's a much bigger problem with municipal government than the absence of Ken Weir. Good Google and Moogly. I mean, these, Sleepy, Dopey, and Doc, and the rest of these knuckleheads on the city council, and I think a very weak city manager who I think they depend on staff. These 25 to 30-year-old Arizona State graduates who, studied government in college and just have gotten us into a position where many of the things that we're facing are untenable. Sewage problems. And think about how they handle that, how they walked us through that, how many of you got up one morning and went to your mailbox and found out all of a sudden that there's going to be a price hike because we have a sewage problem that we haven't taken care of and didn't plan for. It's just crazy. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got?
I was so saddened by the news of Gary Leary's death. I knew him and Debbie from a tender age of 21, my first apartment managers. That's 50 years.
Wow. Yeah, we lost. I talked about this Monday. Gary Leary passed away over the weekend, just a couple of weeks short of he and Deborah's 55th wedding anniversary. And as I've talked about many times, they were like family to me. I used to hang out with the boys, Joe and Anthony, when we were all much younger. About 20 years ago, we ran. Our good friend Mike Arier owned the cigar shop in the mid-late 90s, and that was a big hangout for guys like Larry Fields, a bunch of cigar smokers, and we watched ball games down there, and I spent a lot of time with the boys and then got very close with Deborah and Gary. And as I've talked about, I went through a period, and my dad passed away in 99, and so the early part of the 21st century, I struggled, and particularly on Father's Day. And Deborah called me one Saturday before Father's Day, and she said, I know that this is a hard day for you. Why don't you come up to the house and spend it with us? And I was like, I don't want to, no, that's a family thing. I don't want to invade. She said, you're coming. Just be here. And it was one of the best Father's Days since the death of my dad I've ever had. In fact, it was the best Father's Day of any, but since my dad passed away, where we were in the pool and hanging out and eating and just hanging out with their family. They were treated me very, very kindly and still do. And I texted Deborah and I talked to Anthony, and they're going to let me know about plans for the funeral. I think it's going to be next week sometime, and I certainly will be in attendance. In fact, I talked to Jim Tazi and Mike Arier last night. Was it last night or the night? Yeah, I think it was last night, because they had a wrong number for Anthony, and so I know they've reached out to him as well. But yeah, it's a big loss. The only silver lining, if there is, in a man who had led an incredible life, Gary was a veteran, and he was aboard Honor Flight 52, the last flight that we took just a couple of, but when was it, Chris? About a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And he got to see the memorials and was part of that. And so that, and I did get to spend some time at the airport with the entire family. In fact, I keep meaning to, there's a great picture that we took of the whole family and with Gary and Deborah and the boys. And I'm going to post that on Facebook. But yeah, he'll be sorely missed. He was beloved in this community. He really was. What else you got?
Ralph, you are correct. There is still a lot of mystery about Trump and Epstein, but there is little mystery about Ghislaine Maxwell. She is a proven trafficker and pedophile, and Trump has gone to great lengths to protect her. That would end in any other administration, but Trump is graded on a biggest curve in human history.
Well, I think this is the end of the dedication to Donald Trump. I think this is where the road separates. I think this is where, you've seen people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, the four that were part of the group that got the what do they call it? The decertification. Wait, hang on a second. Don't go anywhere. I don't want to be inaccurate about this, but the discharge petition, the discharge petition they got over the goal line was helped by four Republicans. And these are strong MAGA conservative Republicans: Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace of my father's home state of South Carolina. These aren't moderate Republicans. These aren't liberal Republicans. These are conservative, MAGA conservatives who are like, look, we've got to, there's no choice at this point. We've talked about this all week long. And this has all been created by this administration. And just none of it makes sense. None of it. Bondi literally going on national television and saying, oh, there's a list and it's on my desk. And then the very next day pretending like she never said that. And remember, as we've talked about as well, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, before they got into the federal government, were the key components, particularly Bongino, using not only his podcast, but these airwaves. Bongino was my lead-in. Let's don't forget that, from 12 to 3. And he talked about this with his hair on fire, that, oh, there's definitely something there. Why are they hiding it? And the Biden administration did nothing. And thank God Trump is going to come in and release all these deals. And then he gets appointed second in command of the FBI. And he's like, what? There's nothing there. So you stirred this up. You created this I don't know, this curiosity, this unending curiosity. And at the end of the day, it's about the young women who were trafficked and abused mentally and physically, not beaten, but grown-ass men having sex with children. And these aren't like 20, 30-year-old men. These are 40, 50, 60-year-old billionaires that one can only suspect that's the reason Trump is protecting them, that they're donors, friends, men with power that can make elections change. I don't know. I'm not that smart. But I do know at the end of the day, they're going to have to give up the goods, or it's going to destroy the Republican Party. Quick timeout. Mike Turnipseed joins us next. Daniel Petrey at the bottom of the hour. I'd stick around if I you.
This is AM 1180 KERN, Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A White House official says essential federal workers should get their back pay soon.
Trump economic advisor Kevin Hassett said payments will probably come in the next week or sooner. Federal workers deemed essential, including Capitol Police officers, TSA workers, and air traffic controllers, had been forced to work without paychecks during the shutdown. Meanwhile, it'll likely take some time to get SNAP food aid payments and air travel back to normal.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. State officials are working to restore full SNAP benefits to millions of people after the long U.S. government shutdown has finally ended. Some state officials said Thursday that full November SNAP benefits should be available to spend on groceries by Friday, if not sooner. France is remembering the pain of terror attacks 10 years ago that killed 132 people.
The French capital mourned the dead and innocents lost on November 13, 2015, when 9 Islamic State group gunmen and suicide bombers struck within minutes of one another at several locations in the deadliest violence to strike France since World War II. Coordinated attacks targeted the packed Bataclan Concert Hall, cafes, the National Stadium, with France's national trauma likened to that of 9/11 in the U.S. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
A former top aide to California's Gavin Newsom was arrested and indicted on federal corruption charges this week. Dana Williamson is accused of helping in a scheme to steal campaign money from former federal health secretary Javier Becerra, filing fraudulent tax forms for personal expenses and making false statements to law enforcement. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 797. More at townhall.com.
They say timing is everything in the gold and silver markets, and it's true. Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. Although you can buy at the right time, if you buy the wrong coins, you may not make a profit. When gold was $400 an ounce, many people were talked into buying high-grade old gold and silver collector's coins. Unfortunately, most of the people who bought these so-called semi-numismatic coins, like the $20 St. Gaudens and Liberty Head gold coins, have not broken even on their investment. Incredible, given that gold has risen approximately 525% since then. So while timing is everything, if you buy the wrong coins, the timing simply doesn't matter. Having a dealer who cares about positioning you in the right types of coins or bullion will mean more to your portfolio than anything else. That's why I deal with Nick Rovich and AmFed Coin and Bullion. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. Or go to AmericanFederal.com, AmericanFederal.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You will likely be paying more for your city sewer. I'm Chris Davis. That's because of some wastewater system upgrades by the city of Bakersfield, and they are inviting your input on the possible new rates. That will be through a virtual meeting that is happening tonight at 6 on the city's YouTube channel. The city says that will be an open conversation.
Where is he?
And they want you to know exactly what you will be paying for. Slow down, be cautious, and don't follow too closely, and bring the tire chains and emergency supplies. Those are some of the points of advice coming from the California Highway Patrol for you if you have to travel in some of the mountain areas tonight that are expected to get as much as a half foot or more of snow and a cold rain before that tonight and tomorrow morning. A winter storm warning is in effect for that area through 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, and you can expect winds up to 40 miles per hour with the storm if you're headed that
I'll play
way.
some football this weekend. I still got
Guilty
30
of
bucks
murder is the verdict from a Kern County jury.
I'll play
Wednesday,
football.
they convicted 43
I should do that thing where you get paid if you get 2 out of 3.
Eduardo Salinas Sr. of
You don't get as much money, but
April 25th,
at least you win.
Juarez was arrested and charged with murder, and it's taken 7 years to get the conviction. Salinas faces a possible life sentence when the court decides his fate December 16th. A 17-year-old who was driving a car that wrecked back on October 19th on Shadow Hills Drive near Alfred Harrell Highway may be facing vehicular manslaughter charges, says the California Highway Patrol. While they don't believe he was drinking, they say his speed of 80 miles per hour is what likely caused the crash. And the 17-year-old girl who died several days later has now been publicly ID'd as Marion Stephanie Ramirez Mason of Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Little bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this 13th day of November. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1. Excuse me. 96.1 FM, 1180 AM, and we stream live at kernradio.com. Daniel Petrey will join us about the hour. We'll talk about whether or not Jerome Powell is going to lower interest rates again. There are rumors that fell the stock market today that he is not going to do any more dropping of interest rates before the end of the year. We'll get into that with him. We'll talk about the gondola. Gondola? I say gondola. Gondola? I say gondola. That could go to Dodger Stadium. A lot of LA folks are against this. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I don't know why they don't expand the parking lot, put a hotel up there and some restaurants. I wondered that when I was a little kid, why that parking lot, the only thing in that parking lot was the 76 station that my dad would always park at so we'd know where the car was. In the meantime, it's a Thursday. And the executive director of the Kern Tax Association joins us via the Rogers Brandon Global Telephone Network. Where are you this week, Mr. Turnipseed?
I'm at a healthcare conference.
A healthcare
I'm on the Kern Health Systems Board, and there's Moss Adams, a major company, has a annual event, and it's very high level people from the federal government and everybody, a lot of high-end people in healthcare come, and basically are warning us for the rough times ahead for healthcare in America.
How so? Why so?
Well, just everything from not having enough people to work, but the government is obviously taking money out of the healthcare system that they've been putting in for decades, and it's just going to be a restructuring of expectations for what we think healthcare can be, and you're going to be seeing ultimately the rationing of healthcare, just like everywhere else in the world, like Canada. Virtually every other country in the world has rations on healthcare except here.
When you say rations, expound on that.
It would be like the Canadian system.
Universal health care?
You get in the system. It's like going more like to a Kaiser system where it's completely managed. And, a lot of people go to Kaiser and like it.
My mother.
It's a managed system, and Kaiser does it, and they make money, and they are the best at what they do at that. But that's not used to you just saying, I want to go see Dr. Jones today and make an appointment and walking in. You go through kind of a more managed system.
Yeah, my mother's going through that as we speak with her dialysis and all the other issues she's dealing with. You didn't know that? My mother's
I didn't know that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's been about 2 or 3 months. She goes 3 times. I've told you this. She goes 3 times a week. She goes at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I asked her, Mom, why do you go so early? She says, baby, I need my day. My mother's 83 years old, and she's not really doing a lot, but that's her logic. She just likes going in to crack it down.
Get it done early in the morning.
Yeah.
I like my doctor's appointment first thing, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I try to make mine early as well. I do.
So there are a lot of challenges, and people are going to have to look for a lot of adjustments, and there's going to be a shakeout, and especially in rural areas, because as according to a couple of the speakers today, like 80% of rural hospitals are not financially stable.
Is that because
in the United States?
Is
so
that
you look at Mid-America, all those red states that are, and when the hospitals start closing, we'll see if that changes the view of Republicans, because Republicans have never really cared about health care.
I was just going to ask, is that those closures caused because of the big, beautiful bill?
That will be a contributing factor.
Yeah. And
because so many of the people in rural areas don't make as much money, and they're on Medicare, they're on Obamacare, they're on these things because they don't make the money you make working in Silicon Valley or big cities. It's just a different income thing and situation, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. What impact?
So I come here just to bring back the facts that, hey, well, these are the latest and the greatest from the pros, and running a plan. So Kern Health Systems has over 400,000 members in Kern County. They're on Medi-Cal. 400,000.
That's
and we
a
only
lot.
have 900,000 in the county. So we have to make sure we get it right, and we do make the decisions to adjust in the proper way.
And what are some of those decisions? What are y'all facing?
Oh, it's that is a $54 question. As one of the speakers said today, every health plan needs to have its war room because it's going to get really ugly, and how they address it to meet their local needs is going to be different for everywhere else. An urban setting versus a rural setting versus a rich setting versus a poorer section where healthcare areas are. It's all different, and we obviously have challenges with 400,000 people at Kern Health Systems. So we're going to have to figure out how we can continue to deliver health care and figure out how to do it less expensively.
Isn't the root cause of this Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act? Didn't this all begin? I mean, we always had problems with healthcare, but didn't the serious issues begin in 2014 with ACA?
That was first of all, to be Medicaid, you hear Medicaid in the federal government, it's called Medi-Cal in California.
Right.
That is for low-income people.
Right. That was the whole point of Obamacare.
The Affordable Care Act is for the people that don't qualify for Medicaid.
Right. That was the whole point, to try to provide.
And if you're making, I just saw reading a story, this family makes $80,000, and they got their Obamacare, and it's doubling in price to $27,000. When you take taxes and everything else, house payments, car payments, there is no way they can afford $27,000.
I agree. I concur.
So that is a problem. So they're not going to sign up for it. There's no place really else to go if you don't go. That was a place where you could go and get basic insurance, and the government would subsidize it, and they've done away with the subsidy. So what are people going to do? What people are going to do is they're going to go to the emergency room.
Yep.
For cold.
Yep.
And you go in the emergency room for anything, and it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. People cannot afford it. They're going to get a bill, and then they're not going to pay. And emergency rooms, by law, can't really do anything because they're the first responder. You come in, they take care of you. It's in the law. They cannot send you a bill. I don't know how it all works. I've never been through it exactly, but if we start overrunning our not urgent care, but the emergency rooms, the hospitals are just going to be losing money at the kazoo.
Yeah.
And it's going to threaten even Adventist, Dignity, Memorial, hospitals that are doing, I'll say they're doing okay. They're not doing great right now either, but the fact is it's going to put a real burden on them and how they deliver service.
So why
affect all of us?
Why are Republicans so reluctant to extend the ACA tax credits?
The Republican Party.
I mean, I know what the company line is. I've heard it from Valadeo. I've heard it from Fong. There's abuse. People making hundreds of thousands of dollars are getting subsidies. I understand that. But at the same time, there are 22 million people, many of whom depend on this, as you say. And this is going to be devastating.
If you remember back in 2008, when John Evans, Hillary, and Obama ran, right? There were three in the Democratic primaries. And John Edwards was the first American president to come, well, not a government, but single payer. He had the original proposal, and Obamacare was a spin-off of that, because Republicans, they don't look at government as a provider of health care. They want everybody to just have their doctor, do their thing, take care of their own selves, kind of an independent thing. And it doesn't work for some people.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've argued with Howard. I've argued with several listeners who say that healthcare isn't a right. And
well, I think in America now,
it has to be.
It is a right.
It has to be
a right since Obamacare.
Yep. But Obamacare is so
back in the bottle, Ralph.
But Obamacare, the problem with Obamacare is it's so flawed that the promises that were made were lies, that you could keep your doctor, that nothing would change. And the fact of the matter is healthcare is more expensive since it was enacted in 2014. Isn't that accurate?
It's shifted the responsibility that if people didn't have Obamacare, they would be going to the emergency room. And you would have lines of people outside your emergency room because it's free.
So what's the answer?
Even urgent care makes you pay.
Right. So what's the answer? Because even those of us, hang on, Mike.
Write a book.
Even those of us who are on employee-provided health care saw our health care go out the roof in 2025.
It all started COVID. It started going back with COVID, and they did, it's just like a whole federal thing. They did Medicaid or Medi-Cal expansion during COVID, let more people on to Medicaid. That made Medi-Cal so big and expensive in California because they let a lot more people onto it that didn't have it during the COVID.
So
that's when the expansion started, and nobody's figured out how to put the genie back in the bottle.
So if Democrats are so enthralled with Obamacare, why did they put a sunset clause on it? Why did they have it end in 2025? This wasn't Republicans doing. This was the Democratic House and Senate that put this end to it.
I am not an expert on the Obamacare or what, but the big thing is the funding. Because what they're talking about now, from what I've read, is there is on Obamacare, you do pay a premium. And the difference between the premium and the actual cost they subsidize your premium.
Right.
That's what Obamacare is.
Right.
And so that's what they've been doing since Obamacare started. So your insurance bill might have been 10 years ago, maybe it's $7,000 or $8,000 a year. And so you could put 4 in and the government put 4 in and you had 8,000. Well, now those numbers are 27,000. This person had a $27,000 bill and he makes 80,000, and the government wants to cut out the subsidy. So he'd have a hard time making the 50% or whatever the number is on his own because it's just gotten so inflated and out of control.
The only answer to this is a healthier nation. and trying to prevent
Yes, Jacqueline.
the diseases. Well, I'm just saying, heart diseases. The thing that has always confused me and made my hair stand on edge is the number one killer in America is somewhat preventable. We are a fat country, Michael. We are a fat country, horribly, and just doesn't give a damn. Citizen eats Jack in the Box and sugars every single day. Starbucks with sugar and salt, and most of us have high blood pressure that leads to heart disease. And the only way we're going to get out of this thing, looking at the long game, looking down the road, is to get our children healthier. That's the only way we're going to do this, because we're not going to solve this. Obviously, one of my biggest criticisms of the Republican Party is they've been trying to kill Obamacare since 2014. As you just correctly stated, you can't give people something and then take it away and not have something to fill it up with. And the Republicans have been unable to do that.
Because there's not a Republican. You look and try to find what's quote an expert on health care.
Well, there are several doctors.
The gentleman who designed single payer, Peter Harbidge, worked for John Edwards in the campaign, and he designed it for him to campaign on. And there are people in the Democrats that actually do social work, care about medicine. Most Republican candidates never mention health care.
Well,
they do now because they want to cut out and kill Obamacare, but they've never had a substitute.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So how can you take something away as basic as healthcare, because everybody needs healthcare, and if not, they're going to go to the hospital, the emergency room, and tie it all up with people. So, I mean, we have to address it because people get sick, and we need to have a system to take care of them.
There are a number
I'm
of.
not talking Ritz-Carlton. I'm talking basic health care.
There are a number of doctors in the United States Senate. I know Bill Cassidy from Louisiana is a doctor. We know Rand Paul is a doctor. I think John Barrasso is a doctor. None of these guys can come up with some sort of theory even, let alone a damn plan.
Ralph, I think the problem is you mentioned they're doctors.
Yeah.
They're learned, they probably had their own medical practice, or they worked for a hospital and did surgery or whatever. They were technicians.
Yeah.
You were talking at designing a whole economic system. Healthcare is its own economy.
Yeah.
And just because you're a doctor,
Big
you
business.
can be the best heart surgeon in the world. You can be Jeet Singh. And if you ask Jeet Singh, well, what are you going to do? How would you build it? How would you start it? How would you finance it? How would you do it? He'd probably say, he throw his hands up and says, I have no idea where to start.
Yeah. Well, I think the start is preventative medicine and
That
getting
is part.
getting
And
healthier.
food.
Yeah.
The fact is, look around town. It all started with McDonald's. How many years ago? Hamburgers. How many
50,
hamburger
60?
places do we have? And taco places, and drive-ins of this, and drive-ins of that.
Yeah.
Fast food places everywhere.
Yep.
And it's all fried, and it's all this, and it's all the stuff we don't need.
And you know where they
Nobody cooks
are?
at home anymore.
And you know where they're concentrated? In the poor sections of towns all over this country. And that's what
I don't know. The Southwest got a lot of.
Yeah, but
highway's got a lot of food places on it.
yeah, but they also have grocery stores. And those ghettos, those poor neighborhoods have Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, but they do not have a grocery store.
That is true.
That's part of the issue. I wish I had time to talk about.
Are you going to be you were going to advocate like New York then, putting in government grocery stores?
No, absolutely
in
not.
Bakersfield?
Absolutely not. Have you gone
Then
crazy?
how do we address the problem?
I'm not that smart, Michael. I'm just not that smart. I'm really
Did you
not.
say, oh, okay, Ralph.
I'm just not. I'm just not.
Neither am I.
I wish we had time to talk about Hard Rock. I saw you down there. Were you impressed?
Quite nice.
You were impressed?
Quite nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You should see the ad in the LA Times today.
I did. I absolutely did.
It's like 4 pages.
Yeah, I saw that.
That cost
And an article, and a big old article on it as well.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, sir. Safe travels. Always good to talk to you. Appreciate you taking the time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Mike Turnipseed, quick time out. Our man Daniel Petrey coming up at 4:34. In the meantime, we'll step aside, come back, check the board, see what you all are talking about on this weird Thursday with a massive storm headed right for us. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.
Casey.
RN.
It's a winter wonderland of sweets at Dewar's. See the spectacular twinkling Christmas lights and enjoy festive decorations and hot chocolate from November 3rd through January 5th. Treat your family to handmade candies and holiday ice cream flavors. Write your letters to Santa starting November 29th, every Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 8 p.m. until Christmas. Snap photos and make memories that will melt your heart, just like our ice cream. Dewar's, where Christmas fun, light, and sweetness comes to life. Only at Dewar's, 2700 Callaway Drive.
Again, I want to thank Cassie Bittle for joining us earlier in the broadcast. If you missed our interview with the owner-operator of Casey's Steakhouse, part of the Planning Commission, among other things, just go back on YouTube and you can hear and watch the entire interview. Meantime, she's gearing up for her big party Saturday night where she's bringing in 3 belly dancers. It's going to be a 5-course meal, including some of the craft cocktails that they specialize in, especially next door at the Stockyard. And don't forget about the Stockyard. Live music begins tonight. Vanessa and Lottie play Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. And they've got an incredible banquet room. In fact, as I've told you, it's a great place for Christmas parties. And guess where the American General Media Party is going to be? That's right at the Stockyard. It is a great venue. Get in now for your Christmas parties or any type of election events, things of that nature. It's been an absolute game changer for Cassie Bittle, owner-operator of Casey's Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show.
This is your intrepid news reporter, Scoop Newsman, coming to you live from a helicopter high above the historic Santa Margarita Ranch. From this break reporter's lofty vantage point, I can see preparations are continuing for the return of the Jingle Bell Express that will whisk passengers to Santa's Village. Reports are that the historic Jingle Bell Express will be pulling amongst their cadre of rolling stock, genuine original Disney train cars. Once you arrive, kids and adults will be entertained like never before, with a mystic magic show, a charming Christmas market, adorable pony rides, and more food, fun, and frivolity than ever. The Jingle Bell Express will be arriving at the historic Santa Margarita Ranch November 20th. But get your tickets now. This reporter also has a confirm that if your plans change, your tickets can change too. So make sure you reserve your seats on the Jingle Bell Express by going to Christmas@com before the Christmas train passes you by.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN.
Two 537-6842 KERN. We'll take a break, come back, talk with our man Daniel Petrey. Will Jerome Powell lower interest rates before the end of the year? Speculation caused the stock market to plummet that he shan't. We'll talk about that next with our man Daniel Petrey. And we'll talk about the gondola to Dodger Stadium. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The United States' most advanced aircraft carrier is expected to reach the waters off Venezuela in days. It's a stark flex of American military power not seen in Latin America for generations. Some experts foresee warplanes catapulting off the USS Gerald R. Ford to strike targets in Venezuela unless authoritarian President Nicolas Maduro resigns. But whatever happens, experts say the Trump administration is sending a message to the Western Hemisphere. State officials are working to restore full SNAP benefits to millions of people after the long U.S. government shutdown has finally ended. Some state officials said Thursday that full November SNAP benefits should be available to spend on groceries by Friday, if not sooner. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 797. This is SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. You will likely be paying more for sewer services soon, and the city of Bakersfield is inviting your input on that in a public meeting that will be 6 tonight on the city's YouTube channel. They are promising it will be an open conversation. A winter storm warning is in effect tonight and tomorrow morning for the upper elevations if you have to travel that way. The Highway Patrol is advising that you bring emergency supplies and tire chains and that you take it easy. Winds may be blowing up to 40 miles per hour with up to a half foot or more of snow. If you plan to party hardy at the new casino, you are being reminded by Arvin Police and the Highway Patrol that they won't be tolerating any drunk driving, and they will have some DUI checkpoints set up to catch people doing that. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with the news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Guy Picard.
Hi, my name is Guy Picard, and I am very happy that I found Paul Sheldon. What a relief it is trying to turn 65 and find somebody like him to help me navigate this industry. I think that it's really important that you look at all of the options that you have and then give Paul Sheldon a call, because he will create a plan that fits your budget and fits what you're trying to achieve as far as trying to get the best possible medical care that you can have. So I'd like to recommend Paul Sheldon to any of you out there that are trying to navigate the medical industry at turning 65. Give Paul Sheldon and his staff a call. They are awesome. And I'd just like to say, Paul and your whole entire staff, you guys rock.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Text help for help. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing? You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications that are all over the news, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie, and if you qualify, you can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's a Thursday. Time to head to 21st and Oak. The offices of Messmaker and Petrey Wealth Advisors. Mr. Daniel Petrey, how are you, sir?
I am doing well, thank you. How are you, Ralph?
I'm doing better than the stock market. I know that much. Good Google Moogly.
Well, yeah, it wasn't pretty today.
Yeah. Is this all based on rumors that Jerome Powell is not, as per your and just about every other pundit's prediction, that he would lower rates in December?
You know, I had a feeling you might bring that up. So
Yes.
I looked at the probability, and it has gone. It's not a sure thing anymore.
Yeah, they were saying, I read in the Wall Street Journal, it was when we were talking about it was a 70% chance and it dropped to 60. And now they're saying it's a flip of the coin, 50-50.
Yes, it pretty much is. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, based on where it stands today. And I think the stock market is basically pricing that in.
Yeah.
That's why you have this little correction that we've had. And I don't know why. The only thing I can think of is the government reopening, maybe. There's less worries about the ramifications of an extended shutdown. But I don't know. It all gets so confusing as to what is expected or priced in, and not just what may happen, but all the ripples of because it's not, you just don't affect one person when they lose their job. It's
right.
There's ripples throughout. So,
and it's not as if things are just going to turn back to normal tomorrow.
Right away.
You know, it's going to take a while. In fact, they're saying that air travel is still going to be a bear this weekend.
Yeah, I think air travel over Thanksgiving was one of the nobody wanted to see that.
Exactly. What is
that?
it?
And of course, the election was over, so why hold out anymore?
That's true as well. But yeah, I saw some figure, some 31 million people traveled during the holidays.
Yeah, I think Thanksgiving is the big, because everybody wants to be home, and you're talking a short window there, so everybody flies.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
And why you would get on a plane right now, unless you absolutely had like a funeral or a wedding.
Try to avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how in the world you could be like, and I just know that maybe 30-40% of these people are just like, well, we made these plans and we're going to see my mama. I don't care. We're getting on that plane.
I don't. Well,
you know,
what if your flight's canceled or postponed or
most of them are.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess. It's bad enough when it goes well.
Yeah, exactly. You still have opportunities. Yeah, I've missed planes, missed connections because of delays. Under normal circumstances, I can't imagine what it's like to try to get across the country on a connecting flight right now.
I got stuck. I think I was stuck in Vegas. It was night, and the flight was delayed or whatever. And they basically were saying, well, we'll get you home, but it will be sometime the next day. And, and it's like, well, I had plans to get home. It's only a 5-6 hour drive.
No kidding. Pretty cool city to be stuck in, though.
It was an odd
if
deal
you ask me.
I looked around to people in line, and a couple gentlemen about my age said, well, you want to split a rent-a-car? And so we did. The three of us split a car, and we drove home.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy.
I mean, I think about that now, and my wife would say, what are you doing? You're going to get murdered in the desert.
Kidding.
I don't remember when was it? It wasn't yesterday, so it was a while back.
Yeah.
But still,
it was a different time back in the day. I've told the story. I'm 20, maybe 20. It's 1982. And I'm traveling to Atlanta from LA, and I get caught in a storm. And this guy, I pull over, and I see that it's starting to flood, and I don't know what to do because even with my windshield wipers, I can't see a thing. And this truck driver pulled off and pulled up in front of me and flashed his lights. Well, I'm 20 years old. I have no idea what he's doing. And he starts to pull off, and I don't go, and he pulls back, and he flashes his lights. Finally, the Phi Beta Kappa, Ralph Bailey, figures out what he's doing. And I followed him all the way to, I think, Las Cruces. And we stopped there, and he said, well, I'm getting a hotel room. You want to split it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I swear to God, I split a room with this truck driver. I swear to God. And when I told people that, they were like, have you lost your mind?
Yeah, I saw a horror movie that started
Exactly.
Dead, Ralph. Yeah.
But back in those days, it just seemed different. It really did. You could trust people more. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I mean, there were still circumstances that made you scratch your head and say, maybe I shouldn't do this. But in general, I agree with you.
Yeah, this guy saved my life.
Exactly.
I might have.
Why would he go to all that trouble just to kill? Well, maybe he wanted you bad.
Jeffrey Dahmer wanted me for lunch.
Exactly. That Ralph Bailey looks pretty good tonight.
Yeah. So how, now that this thing is all over, what kind of impact has it had on people, on 401ks, maybe on just the overall economy?
I don't think too much there. I mean, I think just like we have gotten used to impeachments, it's just kind of a political strategy. We've dealt with these shutdowns now, and it's almost like, well, it doesn't matter. They're going to reopen. Everybody will get paid. I mean, we'll get back to normal eventually. It just, I don't, here's how bad we've gotten. Who's the guy out of Pennsylvania? Fetterman?
Yes. Who took a header today and hurt himself.
Yes. He's going to get more love from Republicans than he will Democrats.
Oh, absolutely.
Basically get well soon, because he's kind of a rational human being.
Well, I heard him I heard him in an interview saying the very same thing, that he's getting threats from Democrats. He's getting emails like, hope you have another stroke, and just horrendous stuff from the Democratic Party. And they are, I saw, this may seem not related, but it is. Cheryl Hines was on with Bill Maher on his podcast, and she was saying the very same thing. She said, Republicans have always been nice to me. Even when Bobby was running for president, they were nice to me, and the Democrats weren't.
Wow.
He said the Democrats tried to tear him apart, as did his own family. This kid, Jack Schlossberg, JFK's grandson, who's running for Congress.
Yeah.
He was one of the more virulent, just nasty. I think Bobby Kennedy's a nut, but if he was my uncle or my cousin.
Yeah, you can't talk that bad about family.
No, you never air your dirty laundry out in public.
Yeah, especially family dirty laundry.
That's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
But new times, boy.
It's obvious in this day and age, Ralph, that we were raised differently.
Absolutely.
Or normally, I would say, for our age. And
Yeah.
the world has kind of gone topsy-turvy.
Nutsy cuckoo, if you ask me, Jack.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
What is our deficit looking like? Are we at 40 yet? Are we still at 30? Please tell me we're still at 38.
We went up $29 billion, so we kind of had a normal week. But we're, of course, we're over 38, and we've crossed, of course, 37 and 38 this year. So
now explain. Go ahead.
We won't get to 39 in 2025, but
explain to a guy who got a 480 on the math SAT how we had 29 billion every freaking week, and then it's exploded to 100, 150, and then it settles right back down to 29. How is 29 the magic number?
It is bizarre. I'm one of these days when I'm off, I'm going to have to try to dig into this and get an accurate answer, but I don't know.
That's crazy.
The sad thing is this is normal. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody's even thinking about doing anything to stop it.
No. I mean, and we've stated this ad nauseum. Republicans will talk a good game, but they don't really do anything about it.
No.
I think their main focus has been, if we implement policy and grow more, we can get more revenue and grow our way out. And the problem with that is, by the time they get any headway, all of a sudden there's a different administration, and the Democrats, they don't stop spending, and revenue may or may not, but it's just and to fix this would cause a lot of pain, and you know how that goes these days. Politically, it's suicide.
Yeah.
And we won't, as a nation, we won't endure pain anyway. We as a people won't endure pain. Give me the quick fix, and either we fix it, or eventually the market will fix it, and that will be worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's untenable. It really is.
Exactly. It'll be, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Well, we got to spend our way to get us out of this. Well, that'll just
make it worse.
Throw gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
So Godspeed in that steed, and that leads us, of course, to gold and silver.
How we doing?
Gold is right now around 41.85.
Wow.
So back up over $4,000 and up almost 5% since last Thursday.
That's a big jump.
And silver's back over 50. We were
really
52 and change, I think, today.
That's a gargantuan jump, is it not?
The weekly swings. I was looking at these weekly swings lately. Gold has been up 3, up 8, down 5, down 2, up 4, and silver's even more. It's I don't know what that's saying, but there's big moves.
God, I wish I understood this stuff. But I really did. I really do.
I don't think the trend is down for those two things. At least not yet. Not while we're continuing. Not while nothing. What's different now, Ralph, than a year ago or 6 months ago?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. What's fueling this?
Oh, the same. To me, the same thing that we've been doing for a long time. It's just the rationalization that, oh my gosh, this might be a bad thing. So maybe instead of having 0% in an alternative sector like gold and silver, we should put 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. So you have big Wall Street firms kind of saying, maybe we should allocate to this sector, and people are seeing the writing on the wall.
Yeah. Wow.
Although some advisors saw this a little earlier than others.
Yeah. Any prediction on what?
Supposed to say that sounds like Daniel Petrey.
My bad. I missed the cue.
No.
I missed
I
the
don't
cue.
do that very often.
You
I'm
teed
like,
it up for me.
Ralph will pick up this subtle little.
You teed it.
Call those
I don't know, straight lines. I don't know. You set me up, and I wasn't there for you. I wasn't there
You've
for
tried to do me several times like that, and I always blow it. So I understand.
Oh, Daniel, isn't there any good news down the line? Good googly moogly.
Well, there's good news. I mean, you and I are going to do a lunch or a dinner over at
Casey's. Definitely. Definitely.
That'll be good news.
That will be good news.
One of us gonna. I know you said you'll buy, but I'm due to buy because I think I owe you from before. So.
No. I got you. All right, sir. I'm just and the word. All we're going to hear about for the next 12 months as we start to get into the midterms is affordability.
Yeah, they have kind of stolen that mantra from us.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that Trump is starting to fall into that Biden pitfall of just
like it's okay for numbers. You don't feel it
exactly. Yeah. Don't believe your lying eyes type of thing.
You got to relate to the common man.
Are we going to get $2,000 from the government as Trump has promised?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either.
I won't turn it down.
That's what I said. That's exactly what Chris and I said.
Listen, I don't like debt, but if you're stupid enough to give it to me, I'll take it.
I know. I was trying to express that we're not going to get it. And one of the listeners, I guess, misheard what I said. And on the chat room, he said, this guy's an idiot. He's not going to take the $2,000. Oh, no, I'm going to take it if it comes in the mail.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Take it willingly,
willingly
and happily.
Yeah. I'm just saying it ain't coming. I'm not holding my breath. Let's just put it that way.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Always good to talk to you, sir. I'll wrap to you this weekend. We'll set up something for early next week.
Sounds great, Ralph. Have a good one.
All right, you have a good weekend.
Stay dry. We got rain.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, actually. I really
nice
am.
To have a little change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Winter's on the horizon.
Yep. Have a good weekend.
You too, Ralph.
All right, we'll see you. Bye. Daniel Petrey. His phone number, 395-9400, 395-9400. His office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Quick break. Coming back, we'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. We'll get into the 5. We'll talk about why the LA City Council is against Frank McCourt's gondola that'll take you from the train station to Dodger Stadium. Is that an effective way to get to the ballpark? Would y'all do that? Leave your car at the train station and
take the friendly skies above Chavez Ravine. We'll talk about that. And Blue Origin launched the new Glenn rocket named after Chris Burdick. The new Glenn rocket named after
Glenn Powell.
I swear on my father's grave, I guessed that you were going to say that. I swear to God. No.
No, yeah, obviously, but
First man to orbit the Earth. Well, no, first American to orbit the Earth.
I'm drawing a blank on this one.
The Glenn, John Glenn.
John Glenn.
Former United States Senator out of the great state of Ohio. One of the great pilots of all time. Flew with Ted Williams. And Glenn called Ted Williams one of the best pilots he ever saw. Why are you laughing at that?
No, I'm just laughing at myself. I'm just like
Glenn Powell. I love Glenn Powell.
Me too.
He's great in Top Gun.
Chad Powers show yet? Have you seen that? Hey, Randy says it's really good.
That's my favorite scene when Glenn Powell saves Maverick and he says, "It's your friendly neighborhood savior. Pull up all seats and rest of whatever the line is." Quick time out. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 K.
Messmakers right here.
Choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
You just heard why Daniel Petrey is such an important cog on this broadcast. His political and economic knowledge is unbeatable. And again, he is a client of this radio station, and I'm a client of his. And as I've redundantly told you, it is the single smartest financial move I have ever made. It feels like a 500-pound gorilla off my back. I know late in my life, I'm not going to depend on my 401k. I'm not going to depend on Social Security. I have invested with Messmaker and Petrey Wealth Advisors. And if you're looking at retirement, you should as well. Call 395-9400, 395-9400. And again, his office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Daniel Petrey and the folks at Messmaker, Petrey Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrey or NPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrey Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Vance Furtado.
Hi, my name is Vance Furtado, and I saw Paul Sheldon's advertising, and my wife and I were going to need to begin Medicare very soon, and we thought he would be a great guy to talk to. And we were not disappointed. He and his staff were excellent. They provided much needed guidance for us, and we would recommend Paul Sheldon and his agency to anyone desiring help when it comes to figuring out the confusing world of Medicare. Medicare can be so terribly confusing. That's why my wife and I were so glad that we went to Paul Sheldon. He and his staff were incredibly helpful to us. So I would recommend Paul and his agency to anyone. Thank you, Paul, for all the help that you provided, giving us an excellent sense and direction of how best to satisfy our needs when it comes to Medicare.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You know, I think if I had to do it all over again, I'd come back as a meteorologist.
Why is that?
Because they can be wrong and still keep their gig.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's one of the few broadcasting gigs, along with the sports director, where you can actually show your personality. You get hella TV time. Hell, the weather guys get as much time as some of the anchors. When you look at how much time they're on the air for a half an hour news broadcast,
some of the same love too.
They lead more often than not. They're the lead. Like Kevin Charette in the morning is the lead 3 out of 5 days. And he does like 3 or 4 or 5 reports within, well, even more than that, because their morning show is 2 hours long. But and you get to be yourself. You know what I mean? It's and like it's supposed to be raining right now, according to my weather deal on my phone.
It's supposed to pick up.
It's supposed to be raining right now, and then apparently it's going to really pick up at early this morning. Shohei Ohtani unanimously wins 4th MVP award, second most in MLB history behind Steroid Boy. It says it right here, Steroid Boy. You know of whom I speak, correct?
That would be Mr. Bonds.
Yes, who does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame whatsoever.
You
do realize that at one point you argued with me about your guy versus my guy.
Whatever.
Unanimously awarded.
Whatever.
Just saying.
The real argument is who gets it between Judge and Cal here in the next 5 minutes.
Between what?
Raleigh and Judge.
For what? Oh,
no, they just gave it to Judge.
For the AL?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have given it to.
That's ridiculous.
Well, give me his numbers. He almost won the Triple Crown, didn't he? Did he win the
no,
batting?
The only reason.
Did he win the batting title?
Judge had over him was average. I saw it this morning. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, but he won. Did he win the batting title? I mean, a home run hitter winning the batting title.
Yeah, he won the batting title. But
that's pretty damn impressive. A home run hitter winning the batting title.
Okay,
you could count maybe 10 home run hitters who've won the batting title, and the names are illustrious: Mickey Mantle, Teddy Ballgame. Not many. I think I don't think Piazza won the batting title.
All right, so Cal Raleigh, 60 home runs, 125 RBIs, 147 hits, 15 stolen bases.
All right.
Average of 247.
See, that hurts. There you go. There's your tragic flaw. 247, Chris. He couldn't even hit 250. He couldn't even get the Mendoza line.
He's still playing catcher, too, which is the most important position on the field. Let's be honest.
I don't know about that. I'd say the pitcher, but nevertheless. How many ribbies?
One of those two.
How many ribbies did Judge get?
Judge had 114 RBIs, 53 home runs on a 331 average.
See that dude, that's almost 100-point difference. That's almost 100-point difference. And he damn near knocked in as many runs. I don't know.
There's a bias there, I feel.
Did we find out who won the NL Cy Young?
Yeah.
Who?
Paul Skeens.
Well, you never told me. I didn't know that.
I thought we said that yesterday. No, yeah, Paul Skeens won yesterday. Unanimously, actually. Christopher Sanchez came in second, and Yoshi came in third.
That is just wrong. That is just fundamentally wrong.
But by the same logic you just gave why Aaron Judge won.
Who would you draft if you could draft one of those three?
You don't want me to answer that question.
You take Skeens over
every day.
I totally disagree. I would take Yoshi 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. 2 complete games, and then pitched 2 in the 3rd inning after going 9 innings. Come on, give me a break.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The airline industry and government officials say it will be a while before air traffic gets back to normal.
The Federal Aviation Administration says there won't be a change in flight cuts as more air traffic controllers return to work. The Department of Transportation and the FAA say flight reductions at 40 major U.S. airports will remain at 6% instead of rising to 10% by the end of the week. The agencies made the announcement as Congress moved to pass legislation ending the longest government shutdown in history. I'm Mike Hempen.
The strike against Starbucks is picking up steam.
Starbucks workers at 65 stores are on strike. It's happening on busy Red Cup Day. Free reusable cups are given to customers who buy a holiday drink. The strike has forced some Starbucks to close. Sylvia Baldwin.
Roger Clemens, that's what you're talking about?
We're calling for the company to come to the bargaining table and settle a first contract with us that actually addresses the problem.
Hey Siri. No, he didn't. Hey Siri.
Lack of the hours we need.
Show me the teams that Roger Clemens played for.
The company says it offers the best wage and benefit package in retail.
Oh shit, he
The
did.
United States' most advanced aircraft carrier is
Red Sox,
expected to
Blue
reach the
Jays,
waters off
Yankees, and
Venezuela
Astros.
in days.
I don't
It's a
remember him.
stark
What the
flex
fuck
of
Blue Jays?
American military power not
Yeah, he
seen
ain't
in
getting it
Latin
either.
America for generations.
He ain't getting it.
Some experts
No
foresee
way.
warplanes catapulting off the USS Gerald R. Ford to strike targets in
And don't you get
Venezuela
kicked off at some
unless
point
authoritarian President
if you don't get a
Nicolas
certain
Maduro
percentage?
resigns. But whatever happens, experts say the Trump administration is
Like
sending a
70%
message
or
to the
something?
Western Hemisphere. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 797 points. The Nasdaq dropped 536. More at townhall.com.
And what do we got tonight? Jetson who? Who's
Not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Every day I speak with people who are worried and are feeling a lot of pressure because of credit card debt. That's
just
why
gotta make
I'm
a $10
very proud
bet.
of what we do at Trinity. We just help. We give people
I know
what
Hart
they
told me it was a
need,
freaking
along with a real
clusterfuck.
plan to become debt-free. Credit card bills are consolidated into a single monthly payment that is much less than what they were paying before.
Shut
Most of our
up.
members end up saving
And it was
thousands,
packed?
and even they improve their credit scores by as much as 200 points. I know from the bottom of my heart that I'm making a difference in the lives of the people we help. It just makes me really happy.
If credit
That
card
is
debt has
nuts.
you down, call Trinity at 1-800.
What do we got?
6976. My name is
Total
Julie.
43 and a
I'm
half.
Trinity counselor. Call me.
I like the under.
Debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.
Yeah, they're gonna kill the Jets.
AM 1180.
What's the line?
KERN.
You will likely be
15
paying
minutes.
more
Fuck.
for your city sewer. I'm Chris Davis. That's because of some wastewater system upgrades by the city of Bakersfield, and they are inviting your input on the possible new rates. That will be through a virtual meeting that is happening tonight at 6 on the city's YouTube channel. The city says that will be an open conversation, and they want you to know exactly what you will be paying.
What do you think the over-under is on him passing
Be
yards?
cautious and don't follow too closely, and bring the tire chains and emergency supplies. Those are some of the points of advice
132.
coming from the California Highway Patrol. For you if you have to travel in some of the mountain areas tonight that are expected to get as much as a half foot or
What do you
more
think
of
the
snow
over-under
and
is for
cold rain
Justin
before
Fields
that tonight and
passing
tomorrow
yards?
morning. A winter storm warning is in effect for that area through
132.
4 o'clock tomorrow morning, and you can expect winds up to 40 miles per hour with the storm
132?
if you're headed that way. Guilty of murder is
That's
the verdict from
crazy.
the Kern County jury. Wednesday,
That's
they
what he was
convicted
telling me.
43-year-old Abel Juarez of the killing of 51-year-old Eduardo Salinas.
Do you think the
Sr.
dumpster should have
of
got it?
Mexico. It was April 25th, 2018, that Juarez was arrested and charged.
Home run hitter that won the batting title.
7 years to get the conviction. Salinas faces a possible life
60
sentence.
home runs.
The court decides his fate December 16th. A
I was just telling
17-year-old
Chris,
driving a car
what
that
hurt him
wrecked
was the
back on October
247.
19th on Shadow Hills Drive near
That's
Culver Harrell Highway.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I told him. It's almost 100 points.
Says the California
Yeah,
Highway Patrol. While they don't believe he
know.
was drinking, they say his speed of 80
And
miles
Yoshi
per hour
was
is what
third.
likely caused the crash. And the
He's saying
17-year-old
he
girl
drafts
who died
skis.
several days
I
later
said,
has now
well,
been
who would you
publicly
draft? You draft
ID'd
one of
as
the three.
Marion Stephanie Ramirez Mason of Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Is he? Hey Siri, how old is Paul Skeens?
You gotta get a post like this. Little thing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
23.
2 Cy Youngs,
The Ralph
He's
Bailey Show on
23.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey Siri, how old? Hey Siri, how old? Hey Siri,
Call in or text to 661
hey Siri,
42 KERN.
how old is
That's
Yoshinobu
661
Yamamoto?
842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com.
27.
4-year difference.
Jesus
Now, the
Christ.
host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio. Here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast as we get ready for a storm headed our way. It's supposed to be raining right now, but my phone weather deal app says the rain will be starting in the middle of our sleep tonight for most of us. Please stand by. Currently 73 degrees in Bakersfield. Now it says 100% chance of rain at 6 o'clock. 100%. I don't see it. I don't see it. I see some dark clouds.
Pretty dark and muggy.
Yeah, I do see some dark clouds, but 54 minutes, it's going to start raining? Okay. All right.
We don't have to deal with that dust storm thing we had to deal with earlier today. I don't know.
Yeah. And then there's a 50% chance starting about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then it's going to rain throughout the day, off and on tomorrow. And over the weekend, there's a 95% chance on Friday, 100% chance on Saturday, and a 90% chance on Sunday. I think it's time that I put them up. I think my golfing year is over. I'm gonna leave with a nice 84. Try to have that in my memory when I start back up. Like, when does it get warm again? January, February?
February.
Early February. Get ready for our 4th annual Honor Flight golf tournament in March. But I think it's time to hang them up. I can't play in 50-degree weather. I just can't. The hardest part is driving the cart. It really is.
Yeah, the wind against
the wind. Yeah, it's cold as hell. And at my age now, I'm really sensitive to cold. And did you see the windsock? You ever pay attention to the windsock?
Oh, yeah.
I watch it every single day. And have you noticed anything different?
I can't see it at the moment. It's too dark. But
It is blowing north to south. It never blows north to south. Never. Never. And you would think it would be the opposite because this thing is coming from the north, is it not? The storm? I'm pretty sure. I talked to Gloria last night. It was raining in San Francisco last night. I don't know how badly. But she was just like, she was telling me, I just got in from the rain. Blah, 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 blah. I said, I know it's coming our way. But what are you going to do? 842-5376, 842-KERN. Let's clear the board. What do you got?
Let's see. Ralph, you are right. The release of the Epstein files is paramount for the re-election of Senate Republicans who are running in 2026. It's a veto-proof, or it is veto-proof. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not sure. You need 67 to override a veto. I'm not sure if they can get there. I think it is going to be a surprising vote. I think there are going to be a horde of Republicans on the House side that vote for its release because these guys are up every 2 years and they're going to have to answer to this. Why did you block the release of this thing? Explain yourself. And everyone that votes no that's going to be the main theme of their opponent's campaign. What does Ralph Bailey have to hide? Why did he vote to keep the Epstein files closed? Who are you protecting, Ralph Bailey? You know, when I try to think of strategy, whether it's sports or politics, and not that I'm some genius, but I just try to think, what would I do? What would I do? That's why I think the Republicans are in trouble on this health issue. Because if I were a Democrat, I would hammer the Republican Party on health care. Absolutely hammer them. And I just think if I'm a Democrat, I would demand answers as to why Republicans are trying to hide after campaigning on exposing this and being transparent. And now you're going to shut this thing down all of a sudden? It's absolutely inexplicable what they are trying to hide or whom they are trying to protect. And again, it's a self-inflicted wound. If the president hadn't campaigned on it, if they hadn't ginned it up, if they hadn't, again, you got to remember, Pam Bondi invited influencers, podcasters, radio talk show hosts who believed in this thing. They invited them to the White House and gave them binders of information. Well, they went back to Missouri and Iowa and Nebraska and Pennsylvania, and they opened this thing up and they realized this isn't anything new. You gave us bupkis. And then, of course, you know, and I have to mention this every single time I talk about this, the top cop says, the list is on my desk. She went on Fox. And then the very next day, there was no list. I've never seen on a presidential level since Watergate a bigger shoot myself in the foot than the way they have handled this thing. And of course, Democrats are going to pile on. I told you the New York Times wrote a headline, Trump knew of sexual abuse. And they're basing that on one of the text messages from Maxwell to, or I should say Epstein to Maxwell, where he said, of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. What does that mean? That he knew that they were being trafficked? That he knew that they were having sex with grown-ass men? Or did he possibly know about Epstein trying to poach his staff? We know for a fact that that was cause for friction between the two men, that Epstein was stealing the president's employees. Maybe that's what he's talking about. How can anybody irrefutably determine what that statement meant or what that text message meant? And you got to remember, for whatever reason, whether it's because she's been given a sweetheart deal, whether it's because the president somehow had something to do with transferring her from Florida to Texas and all the perks that she's getting down in Texas way. But for whatever reason, Maxwell has been consistent. The president had nothing to do with this thing. Now, I don't know if they bought her off. I don't know what the situation is. I don't think any of us know, but nobody's going away on this thing. And as we talked about yesterday, this could be the fork in the road for this administration because nobody, not even imprisoned criminals, cope with pedophilia, sexual molestation. We gave you the example yesterday of Grisela Bustamante, who's accused and held in jail for the death of Genesis Mata and torturing that child. Well, one of the inmates there beat the crap out of her and didn't have a problem with it. Didn't deny it. She's like, yeah. Even imprisoned criminals don't deal with this. And if the president, he's in a tough spot because he will not, for for whatever reason, will not categorically say, there's no way in hell I'm going to commute that woman's sentence. Have you gone crazy? You got to ask yourself, why? Why would he leave it so ambiguously? Oh, well, I haven't really thought about it. What do you mean you haven't thought about it? How could you not have thought about it? It's in the news almost every day. I read you from the New York Times yesterday
where the damn warden at this Club Fed in Texas is helping her with her commutation application, among other things that she gets. And again, we heard Carolyn Levitt say this yesterday. There are no coincidences inside the Beltway. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And you know that's how I was raised. My father always said, and I never understood why, but he said there's no such thing as coincidences. No such thing. I was like, what are you talking about? And now I've adopted that. There aren't. There are no coincidences. There is a direct correlation to her leaving Florida, going to Texas, getting all these perks. She's got support dogs, and the warden is doing secretarial duties for her. You really think that's a coincidence? Really? After Todd Blanche, the second in command of the Department of Justice, sat down with her for hours, and then within days she's transferred. Yeah, that's just a coincidence. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and take a break. Come back. We'll read some more of your text messages. I'll look behind me, see what you all are talking about in the chat room. Bottom of the hour, LA City Council, in a 12-1 vote, is telling one of the groups that will decide whether or not a gondola will fly from the train station downtown to Dodger Stadium. They voted 12-1 to say, no, don't do it. There are three groups that will make that determination. We'll talk about that. And I'll give you some history on the penny, which is not dead. There are 300 billion in circulation, but they will never be minted again. The U.S. Mint is saying, the government's saying, no more pennies, which is driving, like, you know who's the biggest complainant about this?
Older folks?
Gas stations. Because that's one of the few places in America where a lot of people use cash.
Yeah.
It's the only place. Think about it. People don't use cash at a grocery store, but at gas stations, because a lot of times it's cheaper to use cash than it is to use your credit card. And gas stations make money selling Doritos and all that nonsense, and they need pennies. Use some of the 300 billion that are in circulation. We don't need more pennies. Pennies? I used to, it's so funny how you grow up. Like 3rd and 4th grade, I was like a zealous coin saver and coin collector, and I would look for years. It was, 1952, I'd keep it. And then right around 5th or 6th grade, I was like, this is the dumbest hobby in the history of the world. And gave away all my old pennies and quarters. I had a vintage Kennedy 50-cent piece that I gave away that probably is worth money if I'd kept it till the 21st century. Quick time out. We're coming right back. It's TRBS on a rainy Thursday. Supposedly. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Coming up on the Friday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, what are Trump's next moves for the economy as we get into the latter part of the year, the holidays ahead, plus Clay.
We'll get into the absolute latest as we break down.
I wish I could have bet this. There's no way he's going to throw for less than $1.30. Come on. I could throw for $1.30. Jesus, he could do that. Right, come on, right there. Boom. There's 7 yards right there. 7 yards right there. Right down to 125. First play of the game.
Welcome to the magic of Christmas at Santa's Christmas Shop and explore 26 beautiful themed Christmas trees. Each tree is created with their own sparkling story, from classic reds and golds to shimmering coastal blues, from nutcracker elegance to the bright, sweet world of Candyland. At Santa's Christmas Shop, you'll find every unique ornament, ribbon, and accessories to make your home shine bright this season. Line up the toy soldiers, light the holiday scented candles, deck your mantle with deer and garland, and don't forget the elves. Whether you're decorating your very first tree or your 26th, it all begins in one magical place, Santa's Christmas Shop, bringing the wonder and warmth of the holidays home.
Visit Santa's Christmas shop inside patio spaces, where Christmas truly comes to life and every tree tells a story.
Hey Siri, what's the line on the
6801 White
Patriots
Lane.
Jet
That's
game?
6801 White Lane.
13.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in
I
credit
would have
card
taken
debt
the
or
Jets, to
personal
be honest with
loans?
you.
With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available,
Oh, they just
designed
ran
to
the
aid
option.
consumers with
Nice.
out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans
fucking
can now
Luka
take
plays the
advantage of
fourth
this debt
quarter, I
relief
win.
as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates is established.
Because then, when I was watching, like the second quarter, or maybe it was the third quarter, he was just jacking up shots.
For this free
He was
information,
just jacking up shots.
800-422-8552.
He was just coming down.
800-422-8552. That's 800-422-8552. Not available in all states.
I know. Did you see how many times
Results may vary. The annual
Luka would pass it to Rui, and Rui would take the shot, so I could get 2 and 1, and he'd miss it. At least 3 times. He had him wide open. He passed to Rui, a little 8-footer. We backed him down, and this little 8-footer, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone
for over
3 different times.
Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medicare.
He's a bad motherfucker, though.
Now,
He really is.
Your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767.
They're gonna fuck around and repeat. I don't see anybody beating them. Who's gonna beat them? In a 7-game series?
www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll.
Maybe, but we beat the Spurs. We beat the Spurs in San Antonio.
Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO D-SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program.
We need a center.
Enrollment in Kern
What's
Family
his name has
Healthcare
done
Medicare
nothing for
HMO
us.
D-SNP
Did you hear?
depends on
No, the other
contract
kid, the
renewal.
one we got
Charlie
this
Kirk
year.
Show, weekdays at 6 p.m.
Chuck
on
lit
News
him
Talk
up.
96.1
The guy from Phoenix.
AM 1180 KERN.
Yeah. Oh, Chuck ate him up. When it doesn't come out until April, just seems weird. I guess because idiot radio talk show hosts will talk about it long before it even comes out, pump it up. But
Well, and this is also traditionally when movies kind of like dull down for a while, so you need to keep people, excited for what's coming up, I guess.
well, no, it's a big Christmas season. That's when movies, they used to at least, were big time Christmas movies. By the way, I forgot to do this the other day. Do you want to hear the Pope's favorite movies?
Ooh, okay, yeah, sure.
Please stand by.
I forget he's American.
Yes, he is. He's from Chicago.
Forget that.
And all 4 of these films I have seen, and I tend to agree with him. Although I would have added one more, but please stand by. I've got it somewhere in here. Or did I put it in the other one? Oh, don't tell me. Here it is. I got it. This is the Pope's 4 favorite movies.
Gotcha.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
Which I totally agree that it is the finest. Maybe that or The Bishop's Wife is my favorite Christmas film. But The Bailey Family, you can't. I mean, I watch it. It comes on how many times during Christmas holidays, and I watch it every single time. Hot Dog. Love that movie.
Clarence, I want to live again.
Yeah. Juzu Pedals. There they are. Bert, do you know me? Of course I know you. What's the matter with you? My lips bleeding, Bert. Oh, I love that picture. Now here's the one I disagree with. The Sound of Music.
Overrated, in my opinion.
Completely overrated. And I don't mind musicals.
I don't either.
I got a little gay in me. I don't mind. I love Oklahoma. Oklahoma, where the winds come sweeping down the plain.
I
What's the Sinatra Marlon Brando? Oh, good Lord. Frank Sinatra, Marlon Brando in Luck Be a Lady Tonight. You got to look it up for me. I can't come up with it. See, I'd never be on a game show. I can't even remember stuff I know.
Guys and Dolls?
Guys and Dolls. Guys and Dolls. Classic musical. I don't have a problem with musicals. But The Sound of Music, I don't know, it's kind of a chick flick. There's a joke there, Pope and no. Ordinary People. I am shocked that he likes, because it's kind of a sinister movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, Mary Tyler Moore is a god-awful human being who doesn't love her son and blames her son for her other son's death. If you've never, I'm sorry if I ruined it for you, but it's a story of a family with two boys, and normally the lead kid is like the most beloved because he's the first child or the first daughter, and it's either that or the baby that I think always get preference with families. That's just don't pay any attention to me. But she clearly loved the older boy, Bucky, and Timothy Hutton plays his younger brother, and they go out on a storm, and Bucky was the better swimmer. He was the better athlete. He was the Joseph Kennedy to John Kennedy. In the Kennedy family, Joseph Kennedy was the guy. He was the one that Joe Sr. was grooming to be president. He was much better looking than John. He was a better student than John. He was a better athlete. He was taller. He was healthier. John Kennedy had horrible health his whole life. He was going to be the guy. And that's how it was in this family. And just like in the Kennedy family, the older brother died, and Mary Tyler Moore takes it out on Timothy Hutton for the remainder of the film. And she plays a horrible human being, which at the time, she's coming off being one of the nicest human beings ever. Laura Petrey in the Dick Van Dyke Show, and Mary Tyler Moore, or Mary Richards in the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And now here she is playing this sinister, horrible mom that doesn't love her son. It's a great picture, directed by and won an Academy Award for directing it. Whom? What great pretty boy actor was the director?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll give you a hint that won't even help. He's a television. You know him as a movie star. But he did some directing. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh, Redmond? No.
Who?
Redmond?
Redford.
Redford? Yeah, sorry.
Robert Redford.
Robert
Redford. Only Academy Award he ever won, which I think is a travesty because he should have won. I think he could have won for The Proposal. I thought he was great in The Proposal, playing that kind of sinister guy that's trying to buy sex or buy a woman. Hell, he could have won for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. In fact, I saw him in an interview the other day where he said they wanted him to be Butch. And they wanted Newman to be the Sundance Kid. So the movie was going to be called The Sundance Kid and Butch Cassidy because Newman was the bigger star at the time and Redford wasn't. In fact, he said that the studios didn't want Redford in the film at all because the level of their stardom was so different. He'd only been in like Barefoot in the Park and not a whole lot of movies. And he went to George Roy Hill, the guy who directed that film and The Sting, the other movie that Newman and Redford did together. And Redford said, I'm really more interested in being the Sundance Kid, kind of a more evil, sinister character than the jovial Butch Cassidy. And Newman jumped in and said, yeah, hire this kid. And that got him. That's the only reason he was in the film, he said. And once Newman was Butch Cassidy, they had to change the name of the film to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. But yeah, he won an Academy Award for Ordinary People. That's the Pope's third favorite movie. And the final is La Vita Bella with the Italian guy that I don't know his name.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen this one.
You never seen that?
I haven't seen this.
It's not bad. I thought it was overrated. It won the Academy Award that year for Best Picture. I thought it was a little overrated. I mean, remember that's when the guy climbed on the chairs? Who's the star of the film?
Roberto
Benigni.
No.
What is it?
Benigni.
Say it again. BEN.
IGNI.
Benino, I believe is how it's pronounced. I could be wrong. I think the G is silent. I think it's Benino. I'm not sure.
There's no O in it.
It's just Benin?
Yeah, Benini.
Benini?
Yeah,
Okay.
if there's no G, then it would just be Benini.
Okay. Yeah. He climbed. Remember, it's a famous Academy Award night where he climbed over tables or chairs to get to the thing. But those are the Pope's 4 favorite films. I would get rid of Sound of Music. I'd get rid of La Vida Bella. I would replace it with maybe The Sting and maybe Jaws, or of course Godfather. I'm shocked that he didn't have Godfather. Quick time out. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Texas A&M University System Regents on Thursday adopted a new policy requiring professors to first get approval to discuss some race and gender topics. The change comes months after a viral video of a student confronting an instructor over her lessons on gender identity threw the campus into upheaval. The new policy, approved by the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents, will apply to all 12 schools within the system. A tanker truck spewing hazardous gas in an Oklahoma hotel parking lot forced hotel guests and hundreds of residents to evacuate in the overnight hours. Authorities say dozens of people were treated after being overcome by fumes. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 797 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
Like to make an order to go?
A guilty verdict was reached Wednesday against 43-year-old Abel Juarez in the 2018 killing of Eduardo Salinas Sr. in Wasco. That's been a 7-year slog for everyone involved.
619-619-6571.
Sentencing for Juarez, who may face life in prison. A 17-year-old who was driving a speeding car that crashed and rolled back on October 19th on Shadow Hills Drive may be charged with vehicular manslaughter, says the Highway Patrol. That wreck critically hurt several people, and 17-year-old Miriam Ramirez Mason of Bakersfield died several days later. You can voice your opinion
chicken,
on a likely
dark,
sewer rate
with
increase
beans and
for
rice.
Bakersfield in a virtual meeting that is set for 6 tonight on the city's YouTube channel.
No bread,
I'm
please.
Chris Davis in the
Just
KERN
two
Newsroom.
salsas.
News every half hour
Two
or when it
salsas.
breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, visit FVGradio.com.
If you want 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise.
Thank you very
Website
much.
for complete details.
We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird.
An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it?
Call now, 800-417-6411, 800-417-6411. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-417-6411 and give us your answer.
The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Trucordia, a new name but a trusted partner for Kern County businesses. With more than 100 years of combined experience, Trucordia delivers cost-saving strategies, risk-reducing solutions, and easy online tools to simplify benefits management. Trucordia goes beyond health benefits, helping your business thrive. Call Trucordia today at 661-401-2280. Trucordia, building trust, creating harmony, protecting Kern County businesses. Trucordia, 661-401-2280.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Justin Fields over under for passing yards is 132. And you might be right. The under might have been the bet.
They just went 80 yards, scored a touchdown, and 16 of it came from his arm.
He's the new age Tim Tebow.
He really is. And didn't he run it in for a touchdown?
Yes, he did.
And he ran it for a first down. I think he ran like 3 different times on the drive.
He even ran a route and tried to catch a pass.
Yeah, I saw that. That was my big play in flag football. It was unstoppable. 46 sweep, quarterback throwback. No flag, no 8th grader is smart enough to stay home and cover that. That's why I won 2 straight championships with my flag football team with my girlfriend at the time's nephew. And that's all we ran. 46 sweep, Y reverse. Just young kids don't have the discipline to stay home. I don't know why more coaches don't run more trick plays, special plays than they do.
I think it's just frowned upon in the game now. I would say actually frowned upon is not the right word, but it's.
Well, it's hard to do it on the collegiate and NFL level because guys are so fast.
Yeah.
You get Ray Lewis going this way and he sees the reverse, he'll meet you on the sidelines and knock your head off. But on a high school and junior high level, these kids don't have the discipline. Once they see everybody going this way, they're going to run this way. And then by the time they realize, oh my God, it's going the other way, they don't have the speed to catch these kids up. And are you kidding me? 842-5376, 842-KERN. Who you got?
Daily Dave's on the line.
Dave, what's really going on?
I got a trick play for you.
What do you got?
So I played end or tight end, block down, they kick out right to the halfback. The old Marcus Allen play where he acted like he was going to run.
The what? I don't understand.
The old Marcus Allen play where they would pitch it out to Marcus. He'd act like he was going to run around the right end. Then he'd pull up and pass it to the tight end who had been blocking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Worked like magic every time.
Well, I think I've always said that you don't even have to do that. I've always said that the quarterback play fake, roll out is unstoppable. It's the same thing. We have the tight end crash down on the linebacker like he's blocking and then release to the corner of the end zone. And if the defensive end is smart enough to stay home, then you throw it. But more than likely, the defensive end is going to crash down, bite on the play fake, and you get outside that end, and you can either walk it in or you can throw it to the tight end in the back of the end zone. It's unstoppable. I don't know why more teams don't use it.
That's a great play, but that Philly special, like you talked about, your play that you ran it.
The quarterback throwback. It's hard to defend.
Didn't Brady try to pull that off in a game too?
Yeah.
But yeah, trick play, and I think that's what makes Detroit so good. They got a few little trickeries up their thing. And the old Raiders, they were trickery,
Yeah.
You think it was going to be a run, and they throw a bomb, and then our wide receivers are dancing in the end zone, with Snake throwing it. So
I loved the Raiders when I was a kid because I was a Ram fan, and we had Chuck Knox. And he was Chuck, what'd they call him? Ground round Chuck. Because he just at first and second down were almost always runs. We were very predictable. And it was so fun to watch the Raiders because Madden would throw on first down all the time. I love that.
Yeah. But hey, changing gears, did you get your golf in like you wanted this weekend?
No, I did not. Thankfully. I played last weekend and shot an 84. I played pretty well.
Wow.
But my buddy turned around. My arch nemesis, Chris Zucchini, turned around because I sent him a text and sent him a copy of my card and said, I'm coming after you, boy. And then he played this weekend, shot a 79.
Oh, beautiful. I ran into George at North Kern.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I took my dad for a drive up the canyon. We're getting away, and I said, Dad, I got to stop at, Kern River, use the restroom. And who comes walking out but George? And I'm like, hey, George, read your book. My dad's in the car. He read your book. Then we start talking Dodger, the series and stuff. And, he spent 10 minutes with me right there just talking ball and life. And
yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a treasure to this community.
Yes, he is. He truly is.
So when are you gonna do your treasure? That's the other reason I called. I wanted to call in yesterday. You were talking about how you got a job when you wrote an article and you didn't really say it was you, and it was really you, and I'm like, what a great thing to do, man. That was you
almost
need to write a book.
Almost got me fired.
You got all these, I know, but you got all these different categories of things that you've done, whether it was in Buford. In fact, I went to my doctor the other day, and somebody from where your dad, somebody was from Buford. They were like the understudy with my doctor. They were training.
Yeah.
And they were from your part of town.
From Buford, SC, huh?
Somewhere, yeah. And I'm looking out and going, I think I put it on I took a picture of it. I'll have to show it to you one day when we get out and play golf.
Okay.
And I'm going, oh my God, you're from, and yeah. And I was like, well, that's cool. And they're checking my vitals and stuff, learning their stuff when I'm seeing my doctor. So anyway, my sciatica's better. So I'm playing pickleball again.
Oh, that's good.
And now I'm thinking about golf. So we'll have to get out before the weather's been great except for today. I mean,
yeah, this weekend.
And then rain's going to come. So how's your foot?
Doing great. I've been on the allopurinol and haven't had any type of setback in the last couple of months. I'm really happy about that.
All right, brother. Hey, I love the trick plays, and I'm gonna talk you into writing. And you know what? That one Motown song you just sang a couple of things ago.
Yeah.
It sounded good, man. Like I told you, you picked the right song. You picked the right song. That's what one of your other listeners says. Ralph, you get the right song, you could pull this thing off.
Okay. All right. I think you got a 10 ear, Dave, but that's all right. I love you, man. Appreciate you calling. All right. Take care. My man, Dave. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got?
Hey, Ralph, regarding your comments on the cancellation of the penny.
Yes.
I feel businesses will now raise their prices 1, 2, 3, or 4 cents using the excuse that they don't have any more pennies. By the way, do you know how much it costs to make a nickel?
No idea. But
the answer is 8 cents.
See, that's stupid. We can get rid of nickels too. I don't care. But no, I heard on the Today Show this morning that because they said the gas stations would be most greatly affected. And I don't know what state they were in. It was a gas chain that I had never heard of, kind of like a fast strip. And they said that they're going to round down. And that's why they're so depressed about this, because it's going to cost them money. So I think you're absolutely wrong about that. At least that's what some of the retailers are saying early. They're going to round down, and this could cost them 4 cents on the dollar. But, okay. I just think they're annoying. I can't remember the last time I used a penny. I can't.
See, I'm going to hold on to all of mine, though, just in case we start seeing them all disappear randomly, and then the actual value of them goes up.
300 billion?
You never know.
Dude, you'd have to live to be my age
I have to live to be your age.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There'll be another 30, 40 years before they become extinct. And I doubt even then.
Yeah, I probably won't even get that high. But
yeah, 300 billion across the world. The only thing I worry about is quarters. It's the only thing I need because I don't have a dryer and I have to use the apartment dryer, which is $1.25 and it only takes quarters.
That's rough.
So that's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about is quarters. It's a pain in the ass, but the way my laundry room is situated, I can't get a dryer in there, and it's a big pain in the ass. And I'm the only one that uses it in my complex. I got 8, 9 units. I'm the only. Everybody's got their own dryer, except poor Ralph. 842-5376. What else you got?
I saw all those poor people waiting in that crazy long line to get into the casino this morning during a dust storm in a construction zone, and all I could think is Valley Fever.
What is the deep desire to be there like now, to be there at the beginning? Why not wait a month? And particularly, that's why I always do with the restaurants. Let the wait staff get used to what they're doing, get acclimated, understand the menu and whatnot. Now, I know that's not the same at a casino, but it's going to be interesting. It'll be fascinating to watch if this thing works, if they can get high rollers from Los Angeles and to the east, Lancaster, and how much Bakersfield is going to support this. I think from the get-go, from the original, just like Cracker Barrel, it's going to be packed for a long period. For about a year or so, I think they're going to do extremely well. The point is, can they sustain the long haul, particularly in a troubling economy when people, are living check to check? Can they really have the the stamina to withstand all that. I don't know. We'll see. One more. Let's take our final break of the night.
Weather forecasters are predicting the future, so you can't expect them to get it right all the time. Most days when the weather is normal, they tell you what the temp will be right down to the degree. Storms are unpredictable. It is raining outside, by the way.
Is it really?
It is.
So they were right. In fact, it's early. So they said 6 o'clock. God dang it. I got to walk in the rain. I knew I should have brought my jacket with the hoodie. A little hoodie.
You mushed the rain.
I really did. Let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. Tomorrow's a Friday. Rick Bentley. And as suggested, I'm going to read some of the statements in the chat room. Somebody suggested that I discuss the Pope's 4 favorite movies with our entertainment man, Mr. Bentley, tomorrow. I will definitely do so. And what's the status of Brandon Lang? He's still in Italy, correct?
I believe so. He said 10 days, so I doubt we get him tomorrow.
Don't call him.
No, I'm not planning.
Don't call him.
I usually let him call us anyway. So.
Yeah. You know, he probably will call us.
Very well.
He's a pro.
He's gonna
get up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Have a little pops, but
yeah, I think you'll be a little thick-tongued. You might be slurring just a little bit, but even a half in the tank, Brandon Lang is worth listening to. He'll be with us tomorrow as well. And I'm efforting an interview with David Brust and perhaps the head of the Open Door Network, Lauren Skidmore. They've got an event going on Saturday at Dave Brust's Club downtown. Maybe get them on as well. In the meantime, keep it locked, the Charlie Kirk Show at the top of the hour. And you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We stream live at kernradio.com.
Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Gun safes on sale. TNT Liberty Safes Black Friday sale is happening now all month long. TNT has a large selection of home, office, commercial, and gun safes with hundreds of safes in stock and ready for installation. Keep your handguns, long guns, coins, jewelry, and other precious belongings safe. TNT also has many scratch and dents and closeouts in stock while supplies last. Go to TNTLibertySafe.com and check out TNT's Black Friday full lineup of American-made gun safes. Or stop by TNT.
God, I need a haircut. Good God, I need a haircut.
You and me both.
Haircut and a shave.
You're ready to go whenever.
All right. What did we do today? We didn't do much today. It was a horrible show today. My energy was down, and there was just nothing really I wanted to talk about. I just didn't want to be here. This whole shutdown has got me depressed. Shutdown, healthcare. Oh, the penny. That's what I'll do. I'll do the penny. 3, 2. So the penny is dead. The U.S. Mint says they will no longer. What do they mint? What do they? They mint. So I can't say the U.S. Mint. The government. 3, 2. So the penny is dead. The United States government says they will no longer mint the penny. Although, don't concern yourself if you're a penny fan, because there are 300 billion in circulation. But I'm sorry, I say absolutely good riddance. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Well, it's a Friday. Rick Bentley, our entertainment reporter, will talk about the Pope's 4 favorite films with Rick. And, of course, Brandon Lang, possibly live from Italy on his honeymoon. All that and me at 3. It's TRBS on Newstalk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN. We stream live at kernradio.com. I'll see you at 3.
qualify. You can get medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1s at 80 to 90% savings without insurance, all 100% online.
Wait, I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No long wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelty can provide semaglutide and tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, for 80 to 90% less and shipped direct to your door.
Amazing. How do I get started?
Just send them a text.
Text SLIM to 797979 to get started today with Zelty. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less, 100% online. Don't wait. Text SLIM to 797979 right now for your exclusive offer. Text SLIM to 797979. That's SLIM to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare
Did you see
Medicare
that?
plans. It's Medicare
Did you see
coverage
that?
California can count on.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Haven't they figured it out yet? Justin Fields is awful. Did you just see that? It was a pitch and catch. It was a simple out. And he missed the guy by 3 yards. Here he is again for reception on 3rd and 12 for 6 yards. He's horrible. He can't throw the ball downfield. His over-under tonight is 132 yards. That's just crazy. Let me read some of the thoughts in the chat room. Some folks had some interesting comments. I would totally take the gondola into Dodger Stadium. I recently paid $68 for parking, for premium parking. That's the new normal.
That's rough.
That is rough, dude. That's crazy. A switch hitting catcher hitting 60 home runs is pretty impressive.
I agree.
Okay. They base the Cy Young on regular season, not postseason. You're not telling me anything I don't know. I still think Yoshi should have been 1 or 2. I love the foul mouth Ralph we get during breaks. I often forget I'm wired up. Yes, see that to 6 p.m., 100% rain. Yeah, you're right. It's raining. Realistically, how do you fix the parking situation at Chavez Ravine? You pay the 50 bones. I don't know how else you do it. 68, though. Is that playoff money? You should get Rick Bentley's opinion on the Pope's list on Friday. I will do that. You just gave all the YouTube viewers your phone number. I was making my dinner order and they're eavesdropping. Nothing makes for more compelling radio than sciatica and the weather. I don't know what that means. And I don't listen to the Charlie Kirk show. Do they just play reruns now or someone taking the reins? Someone is taking the reins. And I got a feeling that Erica is going to step in at some point. I really do. She would be an instant hit. She really would. His widow. Let's clear the board and head out into the rain.
Ralph, I'm driving on Kratzmeyer headed back into town, and there's water falling from the sky.
Yeah, it's raining here. Or has it stopped? Seemed like it stopped.
It's drizzling. It's not crazy coming down, but it's still a little bit.
I love the rain. I'm not complaining. I'm just a little bummed it's going to be cold and rainy over the weekend. I was hoping to get in one more round with Mr. Zucchini, especially after he shot a 79. I thought I was finally going to get him. He hadn't played in 3 months. Guy walks out on a golf course and shoots a 79. That's just not right. That's just not right. What else you got?
Ralph, do you rank Yamamoto's postseason performance above Hershiser's?
Ooh. That's tough. I think it's 1 and 1A. That really is tough. I have argued that Orel's 88 season is the best pitching season in MLB history. He did a little by breaking Don Drysdale's consecutive scoreless record. I think it's something like 56, 57. which is like 9 and 6 is 54. So that's like 6 games of complete games and a little change on top of it. And then, as I'm sure you're pointing out, he did exactly what Yoshi did. He pitched the night before, and in New York against the Mets, we basically run out of pitchers because remember, Jay Howell had been thrown out and suspended because he had he created a little shiv on his glove where those round marks on the end of the old gloves, and he kind of filed it and he cut the ball and he got caught. In fact, it'd be Davey Johnson, who would later coach the Dodgers, who caught him, and he got suspended in the middle of the playoffs. And in that famous game against the Mets that went into extra innings, the Dodgers had no more pitchers, and they had to bring in Orel, who had pitched the night before, and there was nobody else. The next day starter was at the damn hotel getting ready for tomorrow. This is 1, 2 in the morning in New York City, and Orel came in and shut it down. I don't know. That's a tough call. I would, we're all a prisoner of the moment, and what he did that last week in one of the greatest World Series and one of the greatest 7th games. First and third, 1 out. First and third, nobody out, and he gets out of it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'd say for the season, I'd give it to Orel in 88. But postseason, I'd give it to Yoshi. And that's tough to say. That really is. Because Orel's the only reason we won that series against the A's. Only reason whatsoever. We had no business beating the big bad A's, who would win the championship the very next year. Prove you how good they were. That was the team. Remember that team? Carney Lansford, Canseco, McGuire, Dave Parker. That was a really, really good team. Like I said, they'd go on the very next year and win the championship. What else you got?
My favorite musical is Paint Your Wagon.
Paint Your Wagon?
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it. Is that Lee Marvin? Please stand by. Hey Siri, show me Paint Your Wagon. Or is that Jane Fonda? Or am I thinking of something else? Yeah, Lee Marvin, I was right. With Clint Eastwood. I didn't remember that. Paint Your Wagon is a 1969 American Western musical film starring Lee Marvin, Clint Eastwood, and Gene Seberg. The film was adapted by Patty Chayefsky from the 1951 musical Paint Your Wagon by Lerner and Lowe. It is set in a mining camp in Gold Rush era California. It was directed by Joshua Logan. The film was released on October 15, 1969. Well, I'd go Guys and Dolls. The Wiz is a pretty good musical.
My favorite's Across the Universe.
Never heard of it.
It's actually based on the Beatles.
Really?
Yeah, you'd actually really enjoy this one.
Hard Day's Night isn't a bad musical.
Ooh, that's a really good one, yeah.
That's not a bad musical if you're a big Beatles fan. What else you got? Did I really just dig in my ear?
One more. It says, "Hey Rob, just let you know it's raining by Costco on Rosedale." Yeah, we know.
Yeah, right down the street from where I live. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, we're getting ready for tomorrow. I'm excited to end the week because we've got lots going on. Cassie Bittle's got her big party Saturday at Casey's Steakhouse. She's got belly dancers. She's got a 5-course meal. It's going to be a fun night. You can still get tickets by calling the restaurant at 322-9910, 322-9910. And don't forget about the Stockyard next door, where tonight's a Thursday, so Vanessa is playing her acoustic guitar, and then Loudy, a little African-American woman, plays on Fridays, and I'm not sure which one of the two play on Saturday, but there's live music. And of course, Bobby is playing live music in the main restaurant. And we're all saying a prayer for Jimmy, who normally is his accompanist on the piano, and he's having some health issues, and we say a prayer for him. And I got some information on Gary Leary. We talked about we've lost Gary, a member of the Leary family, who have been, as I've stated, really especially kind to me. They are having a viewing Wednesday at 9 a.m., a rosary at 9:30, and the funeral is at 10 o'clock at OLPH. And I will certainly be there, as I'm sure many of you who know the family will be as well. 7-7 in New York. The Jets are hanging in there with New England, but that won't take long. That won't take long. New England could screw around and win that division, you know. What are they, 8-2? 9-2 by midnight tonight? This May kid is the real deal. He really is. And Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I got to get out of here. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Wrap to you tomorrow.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Republicans are telling voters not to forget about the recent government shutdown. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
As he signed a funding bill to reopen the government, President Trump blamed Democrats for the shutdown and suggested voters shouldn't reward the party during next year's midterm elections. He said, "Don't forget what they've done to our country." On Capitol Hill, House Speaker Mike Johnson also expressed his displeasure, saying Democrats knew the shutdown would cause pain, and they did it anyway. Greg Clugston, Washington. Charlotte is next on the Trump administration's list for heightened immigration enforcement.
Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden says that federal officials plan to deploy U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents as early as this weekend. President Donald Trump has defended sending federal agents and the military into Democratic-run cities to combat crime and enforce his administration's deportation policies. Trump has also used this summer's fatal stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee on a light rail train in Charlotte as proof that Democratic-led cities fail to protect their residents from violent crime. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Texas A&M University System Regents on Thursday adopted